Tonight on the podcast, we're talking a whole slew of DC, Warner Brothers Discovery news. Of course, we're going to touch on the cancellation of Batwoman or Batgirl. We're talking Marvel Phase 4 a little bit. We are going to talk about Deadpool 3, Peacemaker,
and Ninja Turtles.
And Ninja Turtles. We got all that and so much more on this episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast. Somebody hit that music, please. No? Okay. What is up, all of you beautiful people?
Howdy.
It is Friday night in Phoenix, and you're listening to the best damn podcast in the stratosphere, going more viral than that case of herpes the girl on the strip gave you in Vegas last year. It's the Absolute Geek Podcast. I'm Matt.
I am Lance.
I'm Max.
How is it going this weekend, fellas? It's finally Friday. We're here with all these beautiful listeners again.
I'm
Dude,
so
time to do
excited
another
that
show.
it's Friday. Gosh.
Friday
It's
is
been a
the
week.
best day of the week.
Yeah.
Stick Boy's already starting fire, saying we're talking about Lance's turtle head.
I have a turtle head. Turtle.
I
turtle.
guess you're turtle heading, bud.
I think people
That's
are
why we
running
were
out
late
of
to
material.
start the show.
You know, I learned a new term yesterday, by the way.
Oh yeah, what did
Speaking
he
of
say in that
turtle head.
movie? Ball pointing.
pointing. Yes. The
You ever
term
heard that
ball
before?
pointing instead of prairie dogging.
Yeah,
Oh,
Brad Pitt
Like a
says it
pen?
in Bullet Train. Yeah,
Like
ball
a pen?
pointing.
okay.
Which, by the way, that movie was hilarious. It's not getting great reviews, but
I'm sure you loved it.
it was really fucking funny. Oh, it had its issues, but it was really good.
I have zero issues with that movie. I loved it. I thought it was great. It's not perfect, but I loved it.
Your mom says, "Damn it, Stick Boy, I can't unsee that visual." What's going on? Shout out to the chat who arrived early this week and on time. I Read Comics says, "Let's get this party started." Welcome in, I Read Comics. Stick Boy says, "Hello, gents. What's going on, Stick Boy?" Fantastic World says, "Weehoo to you too." Eric Williamson, well, I am very beautiful. And then we already, acknowledged your mom. Welcome in, everyone. You guys are ready for a good time. What's new, guys? Anything new this week? Anything interesting this week?
Just saw the movie. I mean, that's the only thing I've got.
I've got something. I woke up on Wednesday morning,
Patrick, my man, what's up?
and the freaking IRS deposited $1,500 in my account.
Nice.
Well,
But
that's
I don't know where the
nice.
fuck it came from. I don't know why I have it, but it's from the IRS. I must have overpaid on taxes or something. I don't know.
Is it a child credit?
Are they doing that?
I think so. They
I
didn't
don't
pay
know.
it out.
It was less than I used to get for my child credit.
Hmm.
No, because I got all my child credits. I don't fucking know what it is. I got to go research it, but it was kind of nice to wake up Wednesday a couple days before I get paid and get $1,500 for no
Yeah.
fucking reason.
Just don't
That is
spend
nice.
it. Don't spend
Well,
it.
I had to buy some shit that I've been needing, like our fucking garage light. The main light in the garage. I don't know what happened, but it just broke, like the whole fixture and everything. So I had to buy a new light fixture, and now I got to replace that. And what else did I buy? I bought some baseball equipment for my daughter because she made the varsity team at her school. So
The
congrats to my
varsity
daughter.
team, huh?
Yeah,
The
it's sixth
varsity
grade.
middle school team.
Oh.
It's sixth grade. When like
I
when
was
did
like,
it-
damn,
when
she's
they
playing with high
start-
schoolers? That's what's up, man.
Yeah, when did they start clarify? Like, it's sixth grade. Aren't they all varsity at that level? Like,
Well, it'd be
I
like
don't.
Pee-wee, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess. But she,
Or
yeah,
JV.
she's
Well,
like
JV
in
would be
softball.
high school too.
Yeah, junior varsity is JV. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Bill Nye.
Well,
I know what
figured-
JV is.
I know you know. I don't know. How
Patrick
many people on
says-
the interweb know.
Patrick says tax credit was $1,400, I believe. Was it $1,400 per child? Because you got to
Well,
remember, Lance has
inflation,
a fucking sea
okay?
of children.
You got to think about it. We got inflation going on here, Patrick.
But
so-
did nobody else get money from the IRS? Because
No, I didn't get anything.
Why would I
Although-
get a child tax credit then?
My kid is too. I haven't claimed my kid yet because she was born after tax season. So
Yeah.
I've claimed mine, so I would have gotten a credit, but I don't know. Let me check my bank account. Did I get money?
Yours would have been like $250, right? Because
It was $300 last year when I got it.
yeah, $300 if
I
you're
didn't get
under
any money.
age.
Patrick says it's $1,400 max, regardless of how many children. Who knows? Maybe it was just a mistake, or you overpaid. I'm just saying, be careful because they're going to come back and want that money back.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll tell them to go fuck themselves and move to Mexico.
They'll just take it from your account, dude. You won't even know. It'll just be like gone. Boop, boop.
But yeah, dude, that was a nice little surprise. That was money sorely needed at that point in time because fucking shit's always breaking.
It's a big week, man. We had Sandman come out today on Netflix. Beavis and Butthead made their triumphant return yesterday on Paramount Plus. What else? Lightyear came to Disney Plus this week.
That's right.
We
yeah.
had
my kid
Prey
won't shut
coming
up
to
about that
Hulu.
one.
Coming that came to Hulu today or yesterday, whenever it did. So it's been a big week for
Blackbird.
content. Yeah.
Blackbird season finale came out today. That was great.
Oh, don't tell me. I haven't watched it yet.
I
And
mean,
we're
it's
what?
it's based on history, so
Well, what, like
Well,
one or
I
two,
haven't looked up the
I'm
history.
not gonna tell you. Don't worry.
like what,
But-
we're 1 or 2 weeks away from I Am Groot on Disney Plus, and then Andor
She-Hulk.
and She-Hulk.
Andor got delayed.
Did it get
That's
pushed?
true. Yeah, it's like
End of
mid-September now.
September.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But the trailer looks great.
Trailer looks good. Yeah. Doesn't
Well, let's talk
She-Hulk
about
come
that
out?
for a minute. The
Go
Andor
ahead.
trailer, because to me, like, I think this looks like a show from watching the trailer that people who are in the know, like Max and big in Star Wars, are really gonna dig this trailer. But I think like the filthy casuals like me and Lance, who know just enough about Star Wars to be dangerous, aren't gonna really care for this show, or it's not really going to hit the mark with us. Because what, we're going back to before Rogue One, and
Yeah.
we're going to learn about a character that took place, that was part of that squad. So it's like, I think it looks super good to people who are like hardcore Star Wars people. But like me, I was just like, this looks kind of like whatever. I could take or leave this.
Yeah, I didn't even know what the hell was going on.
Well, let's live react to it then.
Yeah, 'cause Disney-
I would shut the audio off on it.
Is that better?
Yeah. We're still going to get copyright strike, but it doesn't matter.
Well, you just got to stop it. Disney's cooler about it than Warner Brothers. Well, who
That's
knows?
true.
It might be different now.
I think the visuals are looking great, like movie budget quality.
Yeah, it
Star
visually
Destroyer
looks
looks
beautiful,
great.
but
the freaking Senate, that's cool to see again.
Yeah. So the people that did Rogue One, that created it or whatever, are they involved with this? We got
I'm really not sure, to be honest. But like as you watch the trailer, you'll see. I don't know. I guess maybe you're right, Matt. That as a big Star Wars fan, like I'm going to be more excited about this. But because you got Saw Gerrera coming back, Mon Mothma's going to be in it. You get to see the rebellion forming. I think there's potential for Ahsoka to be in this show since she was Fulcrum. And
what is Fulcrum?
Fulcrum was the code name given to a rebel like spy, and it turned out to be Ahsoka. So that's a spoiler for season 1 of Star Wars Rebels. But
from the creators of Rogue One.
The Empire is choking us so slowly. We're starting not to notice.
You got, I love that you've got people in the Empire that are fighting back.
Father, give it all to something real.
yeah, like to me, it's like there's so much going on here that I'm like out of the dark about because I haven't read any of the books. I know a little bit of the video game lore, a little bit of what's going on in like the comic books, but nothing like about this time frame. Because like I've started reading like Old Republic comic books and stuff, and like Vader and Dr. Aphra and things like that, but not up on this era of Star Wars.
Oh, I mean, that's I think why the show's coming out. There's not as much about this era of Star Wars. I mean, I'm trying to remember.
And it's during the Skywalker era, but it's not really a Skywalker story, right?
Well, it's
Like, that's-
before the Skywalker era. It's between
But this bleeds into it.
it's between Episode 3 and Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was Forrest Whitaker, right?
Yeah. So if,
fermenting.
that guy
They did
that
some
you were
awesome
on,
CGI on his eye. If that was Forrest Whitaker,
You're in my net.
because his eye wasn't looking 6 different directions.
Are you a thief?
She looks very much like the chick from Halo.
she does. You're right. She does kind of look like Cortana.
I've just been hiding for too long.
Eric Williams, Prey has got some mixed reviews, man. Ish really wants to talk about that movie because I think his opinion
On Mothma, baby.
drastically varies in an opposite direction of Patrick's.
Witness
And
the
mine.
beginning.
But I liked Prey a lot, though.
You liked it a lot?
I did.
Is that freaking Maz Kanata? Or just someone similar, like race?
Dude, you realize when you say things like that,
Yeah,
all
I'm
I
like,
hear is
who?
words.
What?
Yeah, what the hell are you talking
Scroll
about?
Scroll back a little bit. There was an alien with like goggles. on.
Mosh
I know
Kadushka?
I've seen him before, like in a game or something.
Her. So Maz, right there. Okay, that's not Maz. All right. Does
I've
not
seen
look the
this
same.
dude before, though.
You're thinking
think you're
Lobot,
getting-
probably.
Yeah, you're getting vibes of the droid chick with the glasses like that. Who gives
Yeah.
Ray the lightsaber in?
Yes, that's who
Force
it reminded
Awakens.
me of. And who you're thinking of, I think, Lance, is Lobot. He's basically like a cyborg that is like the right hand man of Lando Calrissian. So there are similar vibes there, except for the goggles, because that guy's doesn't have goggles. I don't know. I think the show looks cool. You got characters that
CGI looks good.
CGI looks very good.
I think I think it's visually very good, and I think that's interesting that they're going with 3-episode premiere instead of 2. And
Yeah.
what do you guys? I don't know if you guys heard, but did you hear that She-Hulk is going to be a Thursday release and not a Wednesday?
No, I didn't.
Every Thursday or just the first one?
Apparently, from what I read, She-Hulk is going to be a Thursday release.
Huh. Because I was going to say that they might have delayed Andor because of She-Hulk to give She-Hulk more of that time in the spotlight before Andor comes out, which still could be the case. But if they're not releasing on the same day, that does help at least.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, will She-Hulk be ending already at that point? No, She-Hulk will probably have 2 more episodes because I think She-Hulk comes out, 2 weeks?
all
6 episodes?
all I know is Disney's got to do some. Fuck you.
Who?
An ad came up on my YouTube.
I was like, who are you talking to?
It just
Who
started
is in
talking.
that room?
Do you
over
want
there
to
that you're
increase
just-
YouTube
that-
views? Like, that's all I heard.
You're very angry at somebody.
No, Disney's just got to do a better job of once one show ends, something else needs to be there, because literally all my Disney's being used for right now is Bluey. Because Miss Marvel ended and what has been since. Like, they don't have enough revolving content.
No, they don't. They're getting there. I think they've had tons of content this year, though. It's been like less than a month between shows.
Yeah, it's just they need to keep people coming to their service every
They need to keep people paying their monthly subscription. So if there's
Well, they do,
content
like-
at least once a month that people want,
What?
yeah.
They just had Lightyear drop on there, so like, yeah, we don't have any Marvel stuff, but people are
Yeah.
gonna come there to watch Lightyear.
I haven't seen Lightyear yet. I'm planning on watching it now that it's
Yeah,
on
it
Disney
just
Plus.
dropped. It just dropped Wednesday, right?
Tuesday or Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah.
But Miss
Um,
Marvel ended 3 weeks ago, so that's been 3 weeks of no content.
I Am Groot is streams August 10th, so that's this Wednesday, coming
Speaking
Wednesday.
of-
So I Am Groot is going to be on there.
Got a new
Nice.
shirt today.
It's a cool shirt.
And that's going to lead into
The holiday special.
the holiday special. I don't know. It's going to lead into a bunch. Like, it leads into She-Hulk, and then I think She-Hulk's going to lead into Werewolf by Night, and then Werewolf by Night's going to lead into.
Yeah, which they haven't really given
Holiday
any
special.
details about Werewolf by Night still.
No, they have not.
I wonder if there's a reason for that. If it's just gonna be some hokey thing. You know what I mean? Like, is it really going to be like this impactful piece?
I don't think it's going to be impactful, but I think that's
Hocus
where you're gonna
Pocus 2 is
see-
coming out. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
I'm down with Hocus Pocus.
I don't even know if my wife realizes that's coming out because she'd be stoked about that. I didn't
Yeah,
grow up watching Hocus Pocus. I don't have the nostalgia for it, but she did. She is.
Oh, yeah.
She's obsessed. Every Halloween has to watch that movie.
I showed my wife the trailer, and that was a huge mistake.
Why?
You should check it. You should
'Cause
see
she hasn't shut up about it.
you
Oh,
should see the shirt I ordered today.
What'd you order?
I'll show you.
Show me now.
Eddie from Stranger
Oh, I
Things.
love it.
God Save the Freak.
Yeah, it's kind of a turn on the Sex Pistols.
Yeah.
nice.
I love it.
I saw that shirt and I was like, I gotta have that. I gotta have that.
Did you see the new shirt I designed for my daughter, Stranger Things shirt? Did I show you that?
No, I don't
Yeah,
think I've seen it.
The Vecna.
yeah. Aaron says I already have Hocus Pocus release on my calendar.
Yeah, we watched it every Halloween, dude. Every Halloween we watched that.
I still apparently can't watch Lightyear without her.
Oh yeah, I kind of want.
I don't think my wife wants to see Lightyear, so I think I'm good to watch it by myself. But I don't really want to. Like,
Pat Stick Boy says, "Don't be a right now customer." Eric says Disney Plus is kid crack. They can't watch it all. Yes, Saggy, Sandman today. I have not watched Sandman. I'm gonna do that later tonight. I think I'm gonna start it. Not
You
today,
think that's a
but-
show that my wife would be into? I'm nervous about watching it.
Probably not.
No,
No.
Lightyear was good despite the odd hate. Yes, it was odd.
It's because it wasn't Tim Allen.
Is it? Yeah. Is it really that odd to be mad that Buzz Lightyear didn't voice Buzz Lightyear?
I don't think that's the reason for it.
Lightyear.
I think that the hate comes from the same-sex kiss.
I think there are a small, loud minority that was the reason. I think most people it was because Tim Allen. That's why I didn't rush to see it. I was just like, I was kind of pissed off that they didn't even give my boy a chance.
But
Well, you heard him talk about it, right? He's like,
Yeah, and he's not happy about it.
but he also seemed like that if they did ask him, he wouldn't have done it.
That's not what I took from that. And Tom Hanks was annoyed about it too.
I
Yeah.
want to give a big shout out to longtime listener and now friend Tim Bolt for hooking it up for me last weekend.
Getting you some autographs.
Over my shoulder there.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Poster for it's an official Clerks movie poster from Clerks 1, signed by Kevin Smith, signed by Brian O'Halloran, Jeff Anderson, and Jason Mewes. So it's signed by most of the cast. So that's pretty sweet.
Well, who are you
That's
missing?
really cool.
Who's it not signed
Real.
by?
Well, I mean, it's signed by all the main people. The only person it's not signed by is Caitlin Bree because she passed away. R.I.P. She passed away a few years ago from a drug overdose. So
I don't think I realized that she passed away.
yeah, I think it was like 2017. But it is now the grail of my Kevin Smith. I've got so much Kevin Smith stuff like you can't. So on this wall over here, I've got a Dogma poster signed by him and Jason Mewes. And then right here over my computer screens, I have the blueprints from Mallrats signed by him and Jason Mewes and Brian O'Halloran. And then right here, I have a View Askew logo framed by the artist. Got a lot of it.
Yeah, I've got
That's
only
awesome, man.
one. I've got only one piece.
Iron
Kevin
Bob.
Smith mark.
That's cool, man.
But
I don't have any autographed crap.
I
just
bought
have
this
some
from
art.
the movies roadshow, or what do they call that thing?
the movies pop up.
Yeah, pop up. That's the word I was looking for.
Movies, tubies, movies, lubies.
Yeah, I went with Jay, and basically it was an excuse to get a really lackluster burger and that pop, and a cool T-shirt that's the Phoenix Suns logo, but it's the movies cow.
I
It's
enjoyed
pretty
it.
cool.
But all right, well, I'm glad that you guys had a good week. I'm glad we all got some interesting pickups. We had good stuff on TV to watch, but let's get into a little bit of geek news for this week.
Geekness.
And let's start it off this week with DC,
The big one.
the big one.
Oh,
Warner Brothers
this got no headlines.
Discovery.
No one's heard about this.
Warner Brothers has reportedly decided to not release the Batgirl movie, despite the movie being close to being finished. According to the Wrap, shout out to the Wrap, Batgirl will not be released in either theaters or HBO Max. The film was in development and shot before the Warner Brothers Discovery merger. And according to reports, the new leadership under CEO David how's he say that?
Zaslav?
Zaslav agreed the movie. It did not work. The Hollywood Reporter, meanwhile, cites cost cutting as another reason for shelving the film,
What
as
cost
well
cutting?
as refocusing on the theatrical release over creating movies for HBO Max. Batgirl was originally slated to be released on HBO Max exclusively, but later became a theatrical and streaming release. The budget was also expected to be $90 million, and there were reshoots as well to expand the scope of the film.
They already spent $90 million.
And they walked away from
It's
it.
going in the vault. It's going to leak. I have a feeling it's going to leak. The Wonder Woman pilot, do you remember that big one that they made and got canceled? That leaked. The
So you think we're gonna have
Aquaman
another-
pilot, that leaked.
You think we're going to have a Deadpool situation on our hands? Where
Where's the Deadpool situation?
Ryan Reynolds is accused of leaking the original test footage for Deadpool, the animated test footage.
I
computer
wouldn't put
animated
it.
test footage.
I wouldn't put it past the directors to possibly release a clip or something. Drop it. My thing is like, okay, so you want to focus on theatrical movie releases. Okay, I get it. That's where your money's made, right? So take what footage you have and just turn it into a 6-episode TV show. I mean, that's what Marvel's doing.
I think it's that it's come out since then, their main focus is they're going to try and revamp and go for that 10-year timeline to build out these characters and flesh out these stories, kind of like Marvel did. I have a feeling that as good as that is in theory, it's a little bit too late because we're already having reports of people coming out and saying they've got superhero fatigue. So it's almost like we're kind of, I know Marvel announced their phase 5, 6, and 7. But people are already starting to get burned out on superhero stuff. So it's just kind of like, are they going to miss the bus?
Yeah, but I think you put Batman in something that it's going to make over 800 million.
Well, I mean, the Batman with Robert Pattinson is a good example, but you got your big three that sells, and they don't seem to be willing to come off of those big three. Cause it's like you were saying, we had Batgirl shelved now. Blue Beetle, who knows what's going on with that? Reported that the Supergirl movie has been shelved. The Wonder Twins movie that barely even made out of casting before it was shelved.
Yeah, they announced the casting. On this show, we announced the casting. A week later, we announced that it was canceled.
Yeah. That got canceled. So, but what's getting greenlit? The Batman 2, the Joker 2, which is going to be a musical, which we're going to talk about later because it all kind of fits into this. It's like you alluded to me yesterday. They're not looking to push these unknowns. They're going to try and build this universe on the back of I think their big names. They're Aquamans, they're Supermans, they're Wonder Womans, Batmans, regardless if it's going to be Michael Keaton or Robert Pattinson or now Ben Affleck again or whoever it's going to be. They're looking to build this universe off of relatively right off of moneymakers.
Yeah, and see that's where I pause at that, because I agree with what you're saying, but I pause at the logic behind it, because they just released Shazam a couple years ago. The new one's coming out. It's getting pretty healthy buzz. The trailer looked awesome. Shazam was not a known character before that for like general audiences, but he's become kind of bankable, right? So you took a character that not a lot of people were familiar with. You released it. It did well. You're doing a spin-off of it because that's essentially what Black Adam is a spin-off of Shazam, right?
Well, not necessarily, but they go together. I wouldn't call it a spin-off of Shazam.
Yeah, but the what I read was the whole point was to eventually have a showdown between Shazam and Black Adam. There's going to be like kind of Kong,
I'm
Kong
sure
and Godzilla.
they're billing to that.
So these are two lesser known characters. Batgirl is probably more known than either of those two characters as far as the general audience is concerned. And you canceled it. Turn it into a TV show. Add it to the WB stuff or something.
I mean, none of you are addressing the elephant in the room here, which is that it's supposedly sucked balls.
Yes, that is. But how?
Like-
I mean, how much can you trust test screening when the movie's still being filmed? Because the same thing's being said about the Marvels on the Marvel front of it. Is that that movie sucked balls also?
And who knows? You're right, Matt. Like, we don't know. But like, if it's like an absolute trash movie, maybe that's why they're wanting to shelve it. Now, I'm like of two minds of this. I'm bummed that it's being canceled because I always like watching a superhero movie, even if it sucks. Exhibit A, Morbius, wasn't very good, but I still enjoyed going to the movies and watching it. But on the other hand, like, I wasn't amped for it because it didn't look very good to begin with. Like, the costume I was never a big fan of.
Were you the
It
one that
looks like a
posted that
CW
meme in our group chat of Batgirl gets canceled and Morbius still gets put out twice
in theaters? Yeah, Morbius got released in theaters twice. The worst superhero movie ever is what the meme said, or something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a history with test audiences shitting on something and the movie studio releasing it anyways and it doing really well. The first It received low test screening scores. It came out, people loved it, right? The Shazam movie received low test screening scores. It came out, it did fairly well. So you can't test screenings. The article I'm reading right now is The Corruption of Test Screenings is what is the title of the article. So so you can't, I mean, 90 million was dumped into this movie and they're just going to put in and then they say cost cutting and it's like, what cost cutting?
Well, reports are showing they're going to be laying off like 80% of the production staff at HBO or something like that, that's a lot. And that sucks for anyone losing their job.
Yeah. Another article I read, I think it was the Hollywood Reporter, was saying that HBO Max is getting shuttered next year for a whole new app that's gonna combine Discovery and HBO.
That would be stupid.
We only had HBO Max for what, 3 years?
Something like that. I'd be fine with them combining Discovery Plus into it. I think that's a great idea. But
Batgirl needed another 100 million, is what Patrick is saying, to get it finished.
And Eric says Batwoman show left a sour taste with Ruby Rose. The swapping out after her drama and the show was just so SJW leaning it. It was painful. I could see Batgirl shitting in the same direction.
Yeah, but this was going to be the first look at Michael Keaton back in the Batsuit. Do you really think people weren't going to go see that?
Which is weird. Why
and Brendan Fraser is Firefly.
Why choose the Keaton verse, which we're gonna, coin trademark that one? Why choose the Keaton verse to put this movie in? Because something tells me that they were gonna try to play that nostalgia of Michael Keaton's in it to get people to go see it because they already knew it was a bad movie.
Yeah.
Everybody, straight from Fantastic Worlds Comics in Scottsdale, Arizona, we have Mr. Fantastic Worlds Comics ish.
Is he actually at the comic store?
No, I just closed the shop.
Yes, he's at the comic shop. He just green screens the background of his living room.
That's my choice.
That looks like a painting that you see in church.
Yes, he just got done.
Is Jesus getting baptized in that water behind you?
He just came down from his service to take communion and do coffee hour, and it's so nice to jump on with us.
Next time I'll have stained glass behind me.
with
and some so it's like choir music in the background.
You
should just
saved our souls.
Slowly come up into your frame in just a white robe.
Brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're talking about how DC is canceling everything and Warner Brothers Discovery is all over the place.
Yeah, what do you think about that ish? Weigh in on Batwoman or Batgirl getting canceled.
It's perplexing. I mean, there's been movies plenty of movies that have been canceled halfway through. You know, there was one with Bruce Willis that's kind of infamous for being canceled halfway through, but completed.
Which one was that?
I can't
It
remember
should
the
have been
title.
Hudson Hawk.
Nothing memorable. Hey, now.
It should have been Hudson Hawk.
Yeah.
But like a fully completed movie, and I guess it wasn't even like the biggest budgeted movie because they said it was around 90 million to 100. But for just to get shelved, like, what are they hiding? What are they worried about? Or is it really like they can get some sort of tax, deduction on it that's just so worth it to them that it's worth shelving an entire movie? Very
My
weird.
thing is, so like we saw the lawsuit with Black Widow after COVID, right? Disney released that on Disney Plus. Scarlett Johansson sued, settled out of court. Isn't there something in, I don't know, the directors, the screenwriters, the actresses, something in their contract that says this movie has to get released?
But it's the opposite on this one because it was originally planned for HBO Max, and then they were like, "Well, we're going to take this to a theatrical release after the success of the Batman." And then I think the test audience thing is scaring them away because they're like, "Oh no, we suck again." And so they're like, "We need to pull this and just quit dumping money into this because we're not going to get a return on our investment here."
It does look like a CW show.
I saw a crazy headline today where they were suggesting like, oh, this movie was a love letter to DC, and they compared it to like it would have been like Tim Burton's Batman. I'm like, probably not even close.
Well, because it came out because the directors, after it was announced that was shelved, went on social media and released the picture of her and Michael Keaton together. So it came out that Michael Keaton was going to be in the movie in the bat suit. So,
which
Max, what were you saying? Oh, go ahead.
Well, supposedly he only had like 5 scenes in the movie, only 2 of which were in the bat suit. So like he wasn't really much of a presence in the movie. I don't remember what else I was going to be saying. Honestly,
people will go.
And that's
nuts
crazy that
show.
Scenes with Michael Keaton returning as Batman are now, you know what I mean? We're not going to get it.
I mean, the picture I saw didn't look very good, by the way, in my opinion. But it was also really darkly lit on purpose so that you couldn't see anything. I don't know what's going on.
People go ape shit for a show called Boba Fett, and he's barely in it. So
he's in a tank.
Wait,
he's taking a bath
Michael
the whole
Keaton
time.
was in Boba Fett?
No, I remember what I was going to say, though. This is what I was going to say. So, like, I wonder if the new owners are going under this approach of the quality over quantity thing. Because, like, in my opinion, we've got a lot of quantity from Marvel this year, but it's mostly been mediocre at best from Marvel. Like, Doctor Strange is probably my favorite thing that's come out this year, and that was still like a high end of the middling road when you're talking 25, 26, however many Marvel movies that have come out. Like, it wasn't one of the best ones. And so, but you look at DC, I can only think of 2 things they've released this year. The Batman, which is the best movie that I've seen this year, that's come out this year anyway. And then Peacemaker, probably one of the best shows I've seen all year. So they've released 2 extremely high quality things that people love. And maybe, I'm just wondering if that's their strategy. If they're like, I don't know, man, Batgirl just doesn't look like it's going to be good. We don't want any more mediocre content coming out. Now, it could be that Black Adam's going to come out and be awful. We don't know. Well, but I'm just saying the last few things DC's come out with have been pretty good. Wonder Woman 1984, no, but the Joker, that was really good in 2019.
It was a huge hit. Hit.
But by the way, The Rock is selling it. He's saying that the DC hierarchy is about to change and that this movie is going to change your perception on DC films, and it's going to be the movie that changes the DC universe. Somebody should tell him that it's probably going to be the movie that's the last set in this DC universe.
Right? You guys earlier were talking about Shazam, and I mean Shazam is not a flop, but it's also I think the least grossing of the new DC movies.
I don't.
So I think you used the word bankable, if I remember correctly. I feel that Shazam is not bankable at all.
Not bankable, but it was positively received by critics and audiences.
Yeah, it did.
It was, and I liked it. It was a fun movie, but if you look at just the box office, it was nowhere near the Batman or Superman.
Oh yeah, it only did 366 million.
If I was running DC Films, Warner Bros. At that time, I would have clickbaited the shit out of everyone and called the film, Captain Marvel.
I bet they weren't allowed to.
Probably
legal
not. That's probably
reasons.
why they had to go with Shazam.
But that's what
But
it used to be
Zach,
called.
Zach
You just-
Levi had said, I am the real Captain. If you remember,
Yeah.
those two movies came out at the same time.
You just
In
clickbait
comparison,
everyone.
so Shazam did 366 million in the box office. Justice League, the Joss Whedon cut, did 657 million. So yes, you're right, Ish.
Twice
It
as
wasn't.
much.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Suicide
Black Adam
Squad
might
did
kind of
746.
fall into that tier of Shazam. Like, I think it might do like 180 to at best maybe like 225 domestic. And nowadays, if you want to compete with Marvel, you got to hit 300 million. And if
Well,
not,
and-
you know what I
and-
mean. The Marvel is still the king.
Not to rehash last week's argument, but there's a big difference between Zach Levi and The Rock.
Here we go again.
Yeah.
Buckle
You
up.
know what I'm saying?
You know what? I will absolutely concede you that. That is, yeah. Who is Zach Levi? Most people who love Shazam still probably don't know. Oh, the guy who played Shazam. They don't know his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
love Zach Levi, but yes.
Or the response is,
Yeah,
you
he's
mean the
great
guy
in
who
the role.
played Chuck?
Yeah.
And
so
no
far
one
he's
really
never
watched that
starred
show
in one
anyways.
movie.
And Flynn Rider, man. Come on. Don't forget his most iconic role.
But
And Kurt
it
Warner.
just seems to be this trend though,
That's
because
true, he was Kurt Warner.
you kind of wonder how much is this new regime trying to sell this stuff off. I really think that they're going to try and make these films bankable, and they're going to sell. And because they're canceling all the CW stuff, CW wants to sell their station.
And Gotham Knights is
Off.
gone. I'm
Gotham
super
Knights.
happy about that.
It got
Yeah, Gotham
canceled?
Knights didn't even. Yeah, it got canceled. And didn't even make it off the ground.
Atrocious. It looks
I didn't even
so
watch the trailer.
bad.
only saw
I think that got
poster.
replaced by the Arkham Asylum show.
No, well, that's going to be a HBO Max only. So
The only thing that's decent that CW's come out with in the last few years, as far as a DC property, CW I'm talking about, is Superman and Lois. And then Stargirl, which is a pretty good show, didn't even start on CW. I think it was on HBO Max first.
It was an HBO Max show that moved to CW like right before release.
Yeah. I mean, Superman and Lois has been great, but everything else, I mean, The Flash is getting canceled after this next truncated.
9
But to be
seasons,
fair,
I'd
the
say.
Flash has had its run, right?
Yeah,
8,
yeah.
9 seasons.
Canceled
Flash
is like-
should have
usually
ended
the
in fifth
lifespan.
season.
Sure, but it had a good run. I think The Flash is not a cancellation so much as a completion.
all these shows should have ended after
Max,
the
to one of
Crisis
your
on
points
Infinite Earths.
earlier, you said that the two best things DC has done is the Batman and Peacemaker. And the Batman
this
was a
year.
big hit, but for Batman being what I think is kind of DC's biggest character and still didn't do as good as some mediocre Marvel movies, at least at the
You're
box
right.
office. Because
I think it
Batman
made
is a
800
phenomenal film, and 800 million is considered a huge hit. But that should have done like Endgame numbers because it's Batman.
Yeah,
I think.
And
yeah,
then-
but
and
how
I
much
think-
of that
I
is-
think
Gun made more.
Peacemaker, and I think Peacemaker had very low ratings that not many people watched it.
Well, I think they did because they got a season 2, so obviously people are watching it. But Peacemaker, let's be honest,
Sometimes they gotta do a
is
season 2
James-
just to keep the ball rolling, even if you're flopping.
But season 2 is definitely, I mean, not season 2, but Peacemaker is a James Gunn special. He
Yep.
comes in with this property that nobody really knows. Like, there's not even a whole lot on Peacemaker as far as comic book goes. There's very minimal stuff on Peacemaker as far as
He
in the
takes
DC
obscure
comics.
characters.
Yeah, so he takes these unknown, obscure characters and he raises them to relevancy. And him and John Cena and the writers on that show crushed it. And
they did.
So
I
people are ready
heard
for
that show was
season
being
2.
made, and I was like, "Why in the world?" And then I saw the Suicide
One of the
Squad.
best
I
things I've ever
hated his
watched.
character. Hated his character in the Suicide Squad. Loved that movie, by the way. So that's another example of something good from DC recently. But yeah, dude, the Peacemaker ended up being incredible. James Gunn.
I feel
is
like
a very
Peacemaker is
talented man.
popular with like us geeks. I feel like general audience is not out there watching Peacemaker.
Well, are you
Sure.
referring
and
to
now
something that you've
HBO
read
and
on it?
Discovery are looking at that. They need shows that everybody watches, not just the geeks.
Well,
And if they couldn't get a bigger turnout for the Batman, I don't know. That's probably why they're trying to rethink everything.
I'm on board with this rebooting of the universe thing. The only thing I'm like not happy about is that would probably mean no more Henry Cavill Superman, which I really just think sucks for fans and Cavill
So-
alike, because he was good as Superman. Like He should have gotten a sequel and never did. And it's kind of a travesty.
One thing I read was that they've been courting him again. I mean, Ben Affleck, they just pulled Ben Affleck into
Aquaman
to replace Michael Keaton. So that's obviously softening whatever Ben Affleck's adversion was to returning to that role, right? Henry Cavill, I heard they're courting him. I got to challenge Ish, though. He was saying Peacemaker bombed. Peacemaker got more views than the Boba Fett and The Witcher.
Yeah, it was the number one viewed TV show and talked about TV show in the world.
It said in January 2022, what I'm reading right now says Peacemaker is the biggest TV series in the world right now. And this was January 27th.
Who's saying that?
This is film./film.
Well, I know it was one of the most searched and talked about and keyworded shows in the world in January when it came out. It was a massive.
I can't argue the data, but I felt like that show was under the radar. That only the comic book geeks were loving it.
I know a lot of people.
Nobody else knew it existed.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely. I believe you. Like I agree with you. Is what
like Eric Williamson says in the chat. The Boys. I think the Boys has a far wider appeal and has non-comic book fans watching the Boys. People who've never picked up a comic in their lives are watching the Boys. Well, I didn't imagine that with Peacemaker, but I guess I'm wrong.
I think the big thing has to do with the fact, if you notice, Amazon pushes the Boys heavily.
Oh yeah,
like as far as advertising is concerned. I mean, it was everywhere, and Peacemaker, I don't feel like got the same attention, and it could be for the simple fact that it was in the middle of a takeover.
I'll be honest. It was on you guys talking about Peacemaker that reminded me. Oh shit! There's a Peacemaker episode this week. Like it even flew under my radar. That was so I guess poorly marketed.
Yeah, there was several people that I talked to. I said, "Dude, I'm watching the show Peacemaker. It's fantastic. You need to watch it." And they were like, "What?" Like, but they didn't even know what it was.
I feel like a lot of those HBO Max shows are flying under the radar, and they don't get into the main vein until shows like us start talking about it, or people who have nerd friends start talking about it.
Titans is fantastic.
Titans, yeah, and it took like 2 seasons before it got off the ground. And then Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol
took to step it up though.
When Doom Patrol came out, that was the best show I'd seen in so long. Oh, that first season was so good.
But I think the problem with those 2 shows is that it started on the DC universe.
That's right.
And then it went to HBO Max, and that's when it caught most people's attention because they were getting that content already supplemented in with their current HBO content.
Max is the only guy I know that actually paid for that service.
Corbin did.
Corbin did.
Of course, Corbin did.
That's
right. Corbin still does.
He thinks Batman and Robin is the greatest thing ever.
Well, and he likes it for the comics.
Corbin's account.
Yeah. No. That's me. Corbin loves Batman Forever.
Oh, okay. Well, you're both.
He dies on the Val Kilmer hill. I die on the Arnold Schwarzenegger hill.
Yeah, I piggybacked off Max's account. There's no way in fuck I was going to pay for that.
That's pretty cheap, if I'm remembering correctly. It's like $60 a year.
But now Stick Boy Corbin is a DC shill. But now they're even bringing that mainstream because you have Harley Quinn's being syndicated. The animated Harley Quinn's being syndicated on TV now. I think it's on either Adult Swim or
for real.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Adult Swim or Comedy Central, but that's being put on TV.
The last episode, I don't know how they could put that on air.
What else? Titans is being shown on TNT. I believe Doom Patrol also is being shown on TNT. So a lot of this stuff's getting syndicated to basic television.
They're edited though at that point, right?
Oh yeah.
Titans had some nudity in it. Doom Patrol, it's like every other word.
Yeah, they're heavily edited, but
yeah. The last Harley Quinn episode, I mean, there was an entire orgy in it.
I haven't even watched the new season of Harley Quinn yet.
Oh, it's pretty good. But every episode, there's either Poison Ivy on Harley Quinn action. The last episode had a orgy with the Court of Owls. Like, it's a pretty raunchy show.
They went to an orgy with the Court of Owls?
Yeah, they go to a Court of Owls, and then there's an orgy.
It sounds like they're trying to make their own version of Herogasm.
Yeah, definitely sounds like
possibly.
It is absolutely.
Well, hey, it's not the first time comic books copy each other,
right?
But they just what's
that's all the Boys is a giant copy.
What? Yeah, right. I mean, Homelander is essentially an evil Superman, right?
yeah.
With Harley Quinn, like what's awesome about that show is they shit on everything on their parent company all the time.
Yeah.
They actually come out, and I think there's a line where they rip on James Gunn is in it in this latest season, and they rip on James Gunn. Billy Bob Thornton's in it. They rip on Billy Bob Thornton. They rip on the DC parent company in whole. They rip on Zack Snyder all in this season. Like they are very aware of everything, and they just make fun of it all. It's hilarious.
But going on to The Flash was actually the longest running Arrowverse series. It's going to conclude with a very, I guess, patchworked, shortened season 9. They're saying it's going to bring all storylines full circle and to a close, officially bringing an end to the Arrowverse. Like we already said, nine
it though?
seasons.
Because Superman and Lois is technically in the Arrowverse.
They do not consider that an Arrowverse.
Yeah, it's a different world.
Yeah, but
Show.
Supergirl was too. Supergirl was in the same world.
Yeah, but I don't know if they consider that an Arrowverse show or not.
Yeah. All I know is that this show ended about 4 seasons too late.
Yes, it did. It should, like I said, it should have ended after Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, I haven't watched it since then.
No, neither have I.
Yeah,
I
I
started
watched-
to watch the season after that where Iris gets sucked into like the mirror dimension, and I was like, this is stupid, and I bailed.
The last one I watched is when they had like their adult daughter, and
Oh,
she
yeah.
was
Geez,
awful.
you guys watched way after me. I stopped watching before Crisis of Infinite Earths. Watched just those, 6 episodes? Because we were talking about it in the podcast, and I watched it, and I didn't want to watch it.
I loved that. Their Crisis
It
on
was-
Infinite Earth was pretty good
It was cool.
for a
but-
TV show. Like that, didn't have a ton of budget. It was pretty good. And I watched all of Arrow. I liked Arrow. It had its good and bad seasons, but overall, I liked Arrow.
I
My
decided to
favorite
give
one
the
from this-
Flash a try, and I watched one episode, and the Flash was not in the entire episode, and I never went back.
Dude, season 1 was
They dropped
still
the ball.
phenomenal. Like
I
season
loved
1,
season 1 Flash.
so good.
Season 2 was good.
The one with the Mark Hamill as the trickster.
Oh, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
When he's basically just Joker.
The best thing to ever come out of the show was there's a song that they do a musical episode, and my wife and
Oh,
I
I
really
love
like
that.
that song.
Wait,
he
the
sings.
CW show brought back Mark Hamill as the trickster?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
And
And it's
Kevin-
actually
Kevin
pretty
Smith
damn
directed
good.
it.
Trickster in the original Flash series.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Same guy.
Yeah, and Kevin Smith directed it.
Wow.
Yep.
It was
Kevin
one
Smith
of the
did a
best
few-
episodes.
Kevin Smith did a few episodes of Supergirl.
Supergirl.
Did he do any of Arrow?
I don't think he did any Arrow. I know he did Supergirl and he did some Flash. I don't think he did any Arrow episodes.
Yeah.
I
All I
really
know,
liked
dude, is
Arrow.
that this show just
I loved
started to
Arrow.
just get really soap opera-y. The same thing with Supergirl. Supergirl had a different issue. It got soap opera-y and super political to the point
Yep.
where I turned it off. Even though like my political ideologies align with some of that show, it was just cramming it down your throat. It just
Well,
I hated it.
I just rolled my eyes when there was an episode when the organization in Supergirl that like fights aliens gave up all of their firearms and they were no longer going to use lethal weapons. I'm like, because that's going to work when you're fighting against aliens. You're just going to use stun guns. That's going to work. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That's when I was just like, okay, I'm not. No.
As we
It
mentioned
scared the
before,
shit out of me. This
we're
one.
getting Harley Quinn 2. Warner Brothers said announced the official release date for the upcoming Joker sequel. I said Harley Quinn 2. Joker 2, I mean. Sequel according to Deadline. Joker 2 is scheduled to open in theaters October 4th, 2024. Production on the film will start in December. Todd Phillips will return to direct. And Joaquin Phoenix is reportedly earning $20 million to reprise his role as Arthur Fleck. The
Folly
Joker.
adieu.
Yeah, and Lady Gaga is currently in talks to play Harley Quinn. The upcoming sequel is also being planned as a musical. I think that's a troll. And apparently it's all going to take place in Arkham Asylum, or a majority of the film's going to take place in Arkham Asylum.
Well, we know the Lady Gaga talks are obviously done because that's her in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely
Like-
her.
I wonder if these two people were even there to film this.
Probably not.
They
Oh,
used,
this,
like
yeah.
some stand-ins.
or they just used
Other images.
his image from the first Joker movie when he was dancing on the street because he's got the cigarette and he's got
And
the
that's
suit
her
on.
And
like
that's
A
her in
Star
Star
is
is
Born.
Born. Yeah.
Yeah. or one of her other movies. Who knows? It's her from American Horror Story.
I'm fine with them trying new things. They want to make a musical, whatever.
I love musicals, but for the Joker?
Dude, this is what we said before the Joker came out. Do you remember? We were
You're
like,
right.
why are they making a movie about just the Joker? This is gonna be dumb as shit. And it was
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's
Right?
true.
So let's just have faith in Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix. I'm sure
I just
wouldn't
hope
have
that
gone
the
back to it
tunes
if it wasn't it.
slap. I just hope they're great.
I'd like to
Yeah,
know who's
one-
right of. They need to get Lin-Manuel Miranda to write them.
No, his
Joaquin
style
Phoenix
would not
is
fit
very
Dude, he wrote all of fucking Moana.
and Hamilton.
that. Yeah, that style would not fit the Joker. in my
Those are
opinion.
two different styles. What I'm saying is he's written lots of musicals and they're
Well,
all
he also
different
did
styles.
in the Heights too, didn't he?
And the
Yeah,
Heights and
that's-
Kanto.
yeah, they're all different things. Like that dude can write anything. I think
I don't
he's
know.
one of the
Yeah, I'm not his
best
biggest
musical
fan.
writer. I didn't really care for Hamilton, but I do think he's one of the best lyricists I've ever heard in my life.
The only hope I hold on to this is that Joaquin Phoenix seems to be very picky about the roles he takes. So I wouldn't expect him to come back if this wasn't going to be good.
Or it could be just a mediocre script and he said, "Oh, 20 million?"
Nah, he doesn't
I'm
seem to be the
hopeful.
guy that shills out for money like that.
That's true
He-
because Doctor Strange, they were throwing a big payday at him too, and he didn't take it.
He's very much more doing stuff
He's
for
an
the artistic.
artistic.
Yeah. For the artistic part of it. So moving on here. There was some concern about with the realignment of DC with Warner Media and Discovery taking over and changing things and canceling everything about where Peacemaker is going to lie. And fans were asking James Gunn with the Flash feature and featuring the multiverse and multiple timelines. They were asking for James Gunn to clarify Peacemaker and where he fits into this. And James Gunn said, "Rest easy. The Peacemaker is still and will continue to be DCEU." So I think Peacemaker is going to be that one thing that one thread that keeps that DCEU alive still.
Well, apparently they're still very high on Aquaman, The Flash, and Shazam. Like
Well,
as far as the CEOs are concerned. So I mean,
I don't know about the Flash because Ezra Miller is batshit nuts and
apparently he now leads a cult and he
Yeah.
kills minors. But apparently they're saying the movie is great, is what the CEOs are saying. I have a theory. So James Gunn, it's been pretty public. Guardians of the Galaxy is ending after this next one, right? Or at least he says this iteration, right?
This iteration of this team, yes.
But I would not be surprised if they would not be courting him to run this whole show.
They might be. I mean, I think his time on Marvel and Disney is done. Like Guardians 3 finishes the story he wanted to tell, finishes his trilogy.
Yeah.
He's out after this, I think.
And I think he should.
He's announced another spinoff of Suicide Squad, which there's been rumors that it's going to be like the Rat Catcher or something like that. He's got season 2 of Peacemaker come out, a sequel to Suicide Squad with a whole new team. I mean, he's got 4 projects in the works right now with DC. It would make absolute sense for them to say, dude, you obviously get something that we don't get. Run this shit.
Yeah.
Take
a break.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think they're trying too hard to copy Disney. And I think they even flat out said that, we want to do a 10-year plan.
Yeah, they want to find Kevin Feige.
They literally
do
did say
10-year
that.
plan. Just make one good movie and go from there.
They've released a good movie
Now
this
they're
year.
thinking
They
of
released
the-
a good movie last year.
Yeah, but there's no
Which one?
Batman.
The Suicide Squad was
That's
a good one
not-
last year.
Batman's
The Batman.
not part of any universe, though. So it's just
All I'm saying is you said release a good movie. They did.
okay. They did. All right.
We're gonna take a
I'm
break
talking about
from.
what they're thinking. This new DCEU they want. We got a 10-year project, and we're gonna.
I
map
really
out
like Shazam.
20 movies. It's like just get one right. and then go.
I
From there.
really liked Shazam.
Because that's what Marvel
Shazam
did.
was
They
my
did Iron
favorite.
Man. They got it
Sticks
right.
boy, 1 year plan.
Step by
Start
step.
small.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're going to take a break in our DC conversation to bring a new segment that's brought to you by Fantastic Worlds Comics. And it's what's ish housing this week. Last week it was chicken wings. This week,
Oh,
sushi.
someone-
Like sushi?
Hong Kong. It's Hong Kong chicken.
Hong Kong chicken. Mm.
I'm
Courtesy
jealous.
of
That
Red
sounds
House.
delicious.
All right, back to the DC talk. This episode of What's Ish Housing was brought to you by Fantastic Worlds Comics in Scottsdale, Arizona. Go down there and get your Spider-Man #1
Oh, we're gonna get a logo
right now.
Dude, we got in a Journey to Mystery 83, 84, 85. We have a Justice League 1. We got an Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Really?
Just hashtag humble brag.
Nice.
I was laughing myself today because when you were showing you guys showed that Spider-Man 1 on Facebook, it looked like it was $70. I was like, "Ooh, I'll pay $70 for that." And they were like, "Oh no, it's 7,000." All right, never mind.
Oh, we're gonna get a logo for What's Ish Housing,
Yeah,
just because I like making logos.
chicken wings last week, Chinese food this week.
Hey, I worked all day. I gotta eat now before this gets cold.
It's all good.
So
Sticking
I
on this
apologize.
No, you're good. Sticking on this James Gunn train, as Corbin would say, beep beep. James Gunn believes an R-rated Scooby-Doo movie would get made if Marvel director and original cast simply asked Warner Brothers to make the film. I highly disagree.
Haven't they already
don't
made
know.
like a porn version of Scooby-Doo?
They made a porn version of everything.
Yeah, so why
What
do
is
we
it?
need like
What
a
is it?
step
Rule
down from
54
that?
that if it exists on the internet, there's a porn version of it. So
Wait, who plays us in our porn version?
I don't even want to know.
Ooh, yeah, I was gonna be like, do you really want to know?
Yeah, you don't want to know the answer to that.
Where's my royalties?
Yeah, you don't want to know the answer to that.
I think this would get watched.
Well, when you say a rated R version, I don't think it would need to be like a
Well-
sexually rated R.
No.
But if you
rated
had
R
a
is
super
probably
violent, like a
horror.
violent one, a violent horror Scooby-Doo,
Well,
maybe. I still think that sounds stupid.
Or just
true
heavy
tech-
hard
coming.
drugs.
It's coming. Mindy Kalig's Daphne show is coming, and it's hard R.
Well, isn't
They
it
showed it
Thelma?
still, and it's got some do with a chopped off head.
Isn't it? Is she making a Daphne film or is it
It's
Thelma?
a TV show, animated show.
Yeah, but it's not. It's
Not
not
Daphne.
Daphne.
Velma.
It's
Sorry.
Velma, yeah.
Yeah, where she voices the character,
do
but
they
she's
really
the writer
Do
producer.
adults want to watch Scooby-Doo or kids?
Well, I think you're aiming towards the adult segment, the generation that grew up with Scooby Doo. At that point,
I
you're
think
leaning into the
Scooby-Doo-
curve.
I don't know. I guess I don't clamor for R-rated versions of the things I liked as a kid.
I agree with you.
I think that's
don't,
weird.
I don't get it.
I don't want
don't-
R-rated GI Joe. Get
I
close, but don't.
I do.
Yeah, G.I. Joe is the worst example you could bring up. That makes more sense.
No,
But like an
R-rated
R-rated
G.I.
Bluey?
Joe,
R-rated
like every
Turtles, I
other
wouldn't
war
want to see
movie.
R-rated
Turtles.
Smurfs. Come on.
Dude,
Yeah.
I would love to
that
see.
would just be porn.
They need to remake GI Joe and get Sergeant Slaughter in there. Make it right. Have Slaughter be in there. Let's go.
Get the guy who did Bullet Train to direct a Snake Eyes movie and just have that guy chopping people's heads off. That'd be good. That would be good.
I want to see a
Good,
trend
good.
of G-rated versions of porno movies.
Deadpool the
Yeah,
G-rated. I know.
Well, then you're just gonna get Guardians of the Galaxy or
Just a quick movie about a pizza delivery guy.
yeah. They already got one. It's called 30 Minutes or Less.
Say, would you like to come in and play my Atari?
Yeah.
And then he comes in and they literally played the Atari.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
it'll be just
my sink is clogged. Can you come in and fix it? And they actually fix the sink.
yeah. Instead of your stepmom pretending to be stuck in the dryer, she'll just actually be stuck in the dryer. Or she'll want
Well,
you to remove the lint.
we
from
know
her dryer.
we know what kink Matt's into.
Instead of a fake taxi driver that is going to bone you out, it's a real taxi driver that's going to make sure you have a pleasant day.
Oh, it's great.
Michael Keaton came out this week. Michael Keaton.
Right at that look while you were saying that, it matched.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, "What, Matt? What?"
This dude has been Batman. He's been in Marvel movies as the Vulture. Now he's saying Michael Keaton, who played Bruce Wayne in Tim Burton's Batman and its sequel, revealed that he's never watched a single DC or Marvel movie, even his own. In an interview with Variety, the actor explained, "I know people don't believe this, that I've never seen an entire version of any of those movies and Marvel movies and any other. And I don't say that I don't watch them because I'm highbrow. Trust me, that's not it." He added, "It's just that there are very few things I watch. I start watching something and I think it's great. And then I'm like, I got shit to do. And I go do something else."
I got shit to do.
That's how I felt watching Predator. I was like, man, I got better shit to do.
See, I liked Prey. I liked it a lot. I don't see I see some of your gripes, but yeah.
It was so boring.
I liked it a lot, man. I thought
A
it was
lot.
fun.
Wow.
I like.
You're just saying that because you need to prove you're not a hater. So you're going hard.
That's not it at all, dude. Like,
all this was retaliation for Matt saying that I love everything.
no, but I'm being generally like I had
know
some
you're being
issues
serious. You're not right though.
with the CGI on it, and the bear that's in the movie walked weird and it was poorly CGI'd. Like the bear that fucks Leo in The Revenant is a much better CGI job than this bear. But I like the fact that the main character wasn't a Mary Sue. I like the fact that they had a strong female character.
What's a
leading
Mary
this movie.
Sue?
Strong. She was like 60 pounds soaking wet.
A Mary Sue Lance is Rey Skywalker.
Throwing hatchets like
it's a character that is good at everything with no explanation.
Hey, that shit was dope when she's throwing that hatchet around.
Dude, with the hatchet scene, the first 5 minutes, I'm like, this is not the movie I thought this was going to be. I was so excited for this movie.
The Predator was dope. Like,
it was so bad.
Why are you so like? I've never liked Predator, like in general.
I
don't understand why everybody's clamoring for this movie.
Because it's good.
I don't know. I didn't even post a review. I just posted on Facebook that the movie sucked, and a couple people got so triggered by it. Like, how is this movie divisive? Like, they wouldn't even release in theaters because it's so embarrassing.
How many Predator movies are there? Because I think I've only seen like 2 or 3.
1, 2, 3.
I saw Predator.
There's 7.
Okay, then I've seen
Predator 2.
I never saw that.
Versus Predator.
I never saw that.
And so those are on the same continuity. And then there's
Alien versus
Predator, and then Alien versus Predator Requiem, which has kind of been decanonized now.
Whatever the PG-13 one is, I saw that.
And then
they had a Predator reboot like a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that was The Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
And they have a Prey, which is actually a prequel to the first Predator movie.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you.
Which eliminates Alien versus Predator.
I think I've watched maybe 3 of these.
I don't mind them, but they're not like something I'm super into.
I'll
probably watch Prey. It's a new movie.
Didn't you?
First Predator movie is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's
and I think Prey is right up there with the first Predator.
Oh, Matt!
I'm being serious. I do.
Max, didn't you and I see Alien versus Predator in the theater together?
No, didn't Alien versus Predator come out in like 2005?
Your mom said
we didn't even know each other.
Don't forget to catch a predator. I liked Prey a lot. Like I think I liked it a lot just because I could enjoy it in my home, and the CGI was terrible in it. And when she's trying to get out of
the love Disney product.
Yeah, 2004 is when Alien versus Predator came out.
She's trying to get out of the like mud, and she uses the hatchet. I thought that was a little ridiculous, but
they did the mud homage to the original movie. She comes out covered in the mud. Predator isn't even involved in that scene. They cut to her washing it off. I was like, what was the fucking point of all that?
Yeah, and if she could find a flower that like made her so she didn't have a heat signature, like she should have given it to everybody.
Dude, the way they held the bow and arrows and like, oh my god, it was just.
Yeah, but is that historically accurate though?
That's how they sold the movie. They were like, "This is going to be an authentic like experience."
And I did like how
in the 18th century, and there was like nothing authentic about it. The costumes were like straight out of a Hollywood closet.
But I like how all the entire cast was Native American. Like that was cool. And then
and they have, if you go to Hulu, you can watch the movie entirely in Comanche.
Nice.
They have the Comanche dub with no subtitles.
I did
So
like how
don't
they
know
spoke
I don't know
English.
who would watch this. It's like the weirdest gimmick.
Someone that
ever.
speaks Comanche.
Really, which Comanche though? Because there's several tribes, and in the movie they're in the 17th century, so it's probably not the same Comanche as spoken today. And I bet you even
dude.
I don't know. I won't go there, but that was one of the most ridiculous gimmicks.
I liked it.
Historically accurate, yes, Hartman.
I mean, I liked it for what it is.
Right. Speaking
I
of porn
struggle-
versions of movies, there's the Revenant one.
What?
No
What about
the
Revenant?
Revenant porn version with no CGI
Oh.
bear.
The Remnant?
Revenant.
The Raminant.
Is it called the Remnant?
Revenant, yes.
The Remnant.
Actually, the
Yeah.
name of it. That's a clever
And
name.
that one starred DiCaprio too.
That's actually the porn.
That's where
the
he
porn star's
actually gets
name.
fucked by a bear.
That's where he got the Oscar.
No,
That's really what. He
Yeah,
got
that's
the
the
Oscar
porn. That's actually the porn star's name. It's DiCaprio too.
Is it DiCaprio?
No,
Or are you just making a joke?
It's just a joke, bro.
No, I was gonna say, dude, I was like, that'd be pretty fucking awesome. They found some.
And
dude
on
named
this
DiCaprio.
episode of Let's Kill a Joke, starring Lance Pepperoni.
Well, you said it 4 times. So was it killed the first time you said it, and I asked what, or was it killed that you said it 4
Whoa.
times?
How do I need to? I feel like
It
I
was
need to
killed the
friggin-
moment you go. Was that really his name? Because he talked over everyone.
Zaggy is coming into the chat with too many bad takes tonight, and I feel like I need to put him in timeout
What?
because he just said that movie sadly sucked, yet he won an Oscar.
It
The
wasn't that-
Revenant. The Revenant is one of the best movies I've ever seen. Period.
No. He won an Oscar because he got robbed for what was the one that he was nominated the year before? This is
Every
widely
score-
known.
Every Scorsese movie
Aviator?
he's ever been a part of.
Yeah. And it's the same thing Scorsese won. Didn't Scorsese win an Oscar for that movie
One
too?
Yeah, for The Departed.
Oh,
but
yeah.
like 20 years, way too late.
Yeah, The
Yeah,
Departed
but
is. Leo should have won an Oscar for that one, but
Yeah.
He wasn't advertised as like the lead actor.
He should have won for
Mark
The
Wahlberg was.
Aviator, the other Scorsese movie.
Yeah,
He
that's
played
what he
Howard
was
Hughes. He was
nominated for, and
incredible in that.
he didn't win. It's widely speculated that he won for The Departed because he didn't win for The Aviator.
You
The
mean
same
Revenant?
thing with Will Smith. Will
Revenant.
Smith won for King Richard, and he didn't win for I don't remember what it was.
It was
After
like
Earth. He didn't win. For
no,
that.
it was the
I don't think
concussion
it's
movie.
after.
It was the NFL concussion movie called Concussion.
He was terrible in that. He had like the worst
I
like
think he was
Caribbean
nominated
accent.
though.
Okay, speaking of terrible accents, and I don't want to derail us, but I started watching 12 Strong earlier this week on Netflix. I couldn't finish it because Chris Hemsworth's American accent is so distractingly bad. It is awful. Anyway,
Is that the
How did we get-
Afghanistan war movie?
yeah, well, it's based on
Where they ride
9/11.
horses.
I believe so.
That's right, Hartman. He won because nobody wanted to get smacked. My Remnant. Whenever I hear about the Revenant, I think of this story that I had where I went to go see it with Kellen, who used to be in the podcast with me. And like, there's that scene in the movie where it's like pitch black at night and there's no sound whatsoever and nothing on the screen except the sky. And I sneeze, but when I sneeze, I go to like cover myself to save the sneeze, and it sounded like I just let a giant fart, and like the whole theater erupted laughing because it was just like the quiet, like the worst time to do it in the movie, the quietest part of the movie, and I let out a giant fart sneeze. But
That's awesome.
go ahead. What were you gonna say, Max?
I don't think I was going to say anything else.
Oh,
I was going to steer us back to Michael Keaton because we went off the rails.
speaking of
Talking about
that,
Prey.
speaking of what Hartman said, did you guys see his apology that he made to Chris Rock? The apology video.
No, I don't really care to give that story more time in my life. I saw the headline and moved on. I was like, I
It
don't really
felt
care.
more like a ransom video, like Jada was standing behind the camera with like a gun pointed at him or something. Then
It sounded like he rehearsed it 50
Yeah.
times. And his excuses like for not saying sorry for Chris and his acceptance speaks, well, I was in a fog. Dude, you were in a fog? Like, and it took you 4 months to say anything? I don't know. Let's not get
I don't know
into that.
why. I don't know why he needed to even release anything. That's why I didn't click on the freaking video. I don't care. He slapped
then-
the guy. I'm over it.
And
Yeah,
then
the
you are
apology only counts if he says it to his face in person.
Well, Chris Rock won't talk to him. Chris Rock told
There you
him,
go.
"I will.
Don't give
I'll
him no
come
shit
to
about his
you when I'm ready to
policy.
talk."
yeah,
So he
so
just released it publicly.
this like, I don't see how anybody's not saying it's harassment, because okay, he's the perpetrator in this situation. The perpetrator reaches out to the victim to apologize. Like in any assault situation, like it's widely said that you wait for the victim to reach out to you. Like now it comes off as borderline harassment. If he has in fact called him multiple times, he releases a YouTube video, and his own TikTok has been sharing it like crazy. And then his wife talks about it on her podcast. And Chris Rock is like, dude, I don't want to talk to you. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
That's a lot of his PR. That's probably a lot of his PR team, though, too.
I'm just saying.
I get where you're driving.
It comes off in very poor taste, in my opinion. But whatever.
All right. Enough of Will Smith smacking a bitch. Back to Mike Keaton. Do you guys think he's seen Birdman?
Maybe.
He got nominated for, or did he win Best Actor for that one?
I think he won for that.
He didn't.
No?
I remember he pouted that he didn't.
He pouted.
Oh, he was so pouty after that. But yeah, I mean, that movie will forever be just just steeped in irony.
That movie was pretty.
Because literally, he
good,
revived his career by becoming Birdman again.
Yep.
In more ways than one. But hey, it's not weird that actors don't watch their movies. That's actually kind of typical. Most of them is just because I filmed it for 8 months. Like, there's nothing I'm going to see on the screen.
It makes them cringe. It makes them cringe to watch them.
Yeah, or Al Pacino has never seen the Godfather movies, and he says to this day he has no interest in seeing them. So that's pretty common, I guess.
It's interesting, especially nowadays, because I thought most of the actors went to the premieres for these movies.
They stand outside in the lobby and do all the interviews.
They take the pictures, but they don't watch it.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Well, that's the one time they do see it is at the premiere,
or you just don't watch it because you're going to critique the shit out of your performance while you're sitting in the audience.
Or you don't go to the premiere because you accidentally Instagram live the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Guys, I sometimes record my Zoom meetings and I just can't rewatch them because I'm going to critique my performance in my client meetings too much. And
which is funny because you think these total like sociopathic narcissists in Hollywood would totally just be watching themselves over and over.
Yeah.
They probably only do that when it's like absolute perfection, like the best photo of them ever. Or
Hardman says, and Ezra ruined his hot streak. Yeah. The cult leader. Saturday, September 10th, 10 a.m. We're getting San Diego Comic-Con Hall H Part 2 brought to you by D23 Expo. It says
X-Men announcement.
Yeah.
We should just call the D23 X-Men Expo.
Well, it says filmmakers, celebrities, talent, and surprise guests from Marvel Studios will join Lucasfilms and others on stage in Hall D23 to showcase theatrical and Disney Plus titles, going behind the scenes at the studios. Highly anticipated films, specials, and series attendees will see exclusive footage and be among the first to learn what's in the works. Deadpool. I think Deadpool is going to be out probably February 2023. Deadpool 3. Let's be honest.
You think so?
Have they started filming? Because that doesn't give it a whole lot of time to film.
We will get to that. But okay. But yeah, well, we got all that stuff in Phase 7. We only got the 2 announcements of the 2 Avengers movies for Phase 7. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get the announcement of I know that Marvel doesn't, Sony, I think they let Sony announce Spider-Man films, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we get some Spider-Man news, something Spider-Man front. And X-Men. I wouldn't be surprised if Taron Egerton is one of the surprise guests at D23 when they announce X-Men for Phase 7.
Eggsy.
Yeah.
Eggsy man.
So that's something I'm excited about. If he's Wolverine.
I'm excited for D23. I think I think that's when we'll get to see Mandalorian season 3, the trailer finally. Even though I've already seen the trailer, but it was on a webcam and not very high quality. I think we'll get the official trailer release there. We might even see a little bit about Ahsoka. Maybe we'll get that Deadpool 3 news. Maybe we'll get X-Men. Yeah, I'm not holding my breath for X-Men.
The Who's the Boss spinoff.
Who's the Boss?
I've heard about that, Sticks. He's
Is
not
that
joking.
a real thing?
Yes.
Like an
Disney
animated
Plus.
thing?
No. Is going to be a live action Who's the Boss spinoff.
It's not going to
About
be called Who's the
Bosk.
Boss.
No, it's gonna be as a continuation, but I think it's gonna be Sam, his daughter, is who it follows now instead of Tony Danza and his tap dancing extravaganza.
Hold me closer, Tony Dancer.
Yeah. But
It's
Speaking
not
of-
the old lady,
so we're
the
not
old lady
talking
who
about-
lives in the back shed.
I thought you were talking about Bosk from Star Wars. What are you
You didn't-
talking about?
Who's
What are
the
you
boss?
talking about? Who's the boss?
Oh,
With
but it said
Tony
who's the,
Danza, where he played the nanny, the male
well,
nanny.
he
With,
wrote "Who's the Bosk," and so I'm sure it's a typo. It's just a
Hmm.
funny typo that's the same spelling as Bosk, a character.
I think
in
that's
Star
a
Wars.
joke.
I just saw Boss. Yeah, he's making a joke, but there is a Who's the Boss spinoff coming.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You,
And I
you do
thought it
know
was Disney
A
23
non-Star
movies.
Wars related one.
Yeah,
saying. Okay.
will
Tony
Alyssa
Danza.
Milano be in
He's
this?
gonna fucking show
I think
you
she
who's
is. I think
boss,
she
all
is coming back for it. Yes.
She's gone Looney Tunes.
I'm sorry. I was just thinking obscure bounty hunter character Bosk.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
But go ahead, Max. What were you gonna say?
no, just that. I was like, why would they make a show
Oh.
about that
Dude,
and call
now-
it "Who's the Bosk"?
Now I want some like parody show. of
A
Who's the
parody
Boss
show
being
made by
boss.
fans would be hilarious.
We already had a parody show. It was called Boba Fett.
So apparently, Don Slandino, known for his work in transforming celebrities into superheroes through their physique, took to Instagram to share photos of himself with Deadpool star Ryan Reynolds with the caption, "And so it begins." Marvel Studios flags planned in the mid-February for 2024 and mid-February 2025. Speculation points to Deadpool 3 landing in one of those dates. With Ryan Reynolds seemingly gearing up for filming, the project might be less than 3 years away, and updates could arrive as soon as D23 Expo, where Marvel Studios will have another presentation centered around its upcoming titles.
Okay, so you're saying February 2024 or 2025? I thought you
Yeah.
said February 2023. I'm like, bro,
You
they
did
haven't even
at
started
first.
filming.
Yeah,
How in
no,
the
it'll be
world?
2024. I might have said 2023, but I meant 2024.
Okay, now that makes more sense. Okay, so on the same page and not disagreeing with you now.
But it's already, like I said, it sounds like they've already got a script. He's getting into shape. He's going to start soon, so I'm sure we'll get announcements for this at D23 as well.
I hope so.
Another actress who says that they want to continue on the Marvel train, Zazie Beetz. Deadpool 2 actress Zazie Beetz expressed interest in reprising her role as Domino in the franchise's third entry, but would not confirm her return. When she was asked about it, she said, "I don't know. We'll see. I would love to do more Deadpool, but that's me, so I can't. Yeah, I can't reveal." So basically, she's playing coy about it.
I liked her as Domino.
I did too.
So did I. I hope she comes back. Yeah.
Yeah, I
did
loved
too,
her.
and it helps that she is sexy.
Well, go watch Bullet Train.
Nah, pass. I got my action in Prey. I'm good for a
Oh
while.
boy.
I loved Bullet Train. I would legit go see it again tonight if we end early enough.
Season 1 of Squid Games remains the most popular season of a television show ever on Netflix.
By a
While
lot.
season 4 of Stranger Things racked up an impressive 1.4 billion hours viewed, the Korean survival series came up on top with 1.7 billion hours viewed.
Wow, that's crazy,
And I have not watched it yet.
You
Squid
have
Game-
not watched it
dude.
yet,
It's
dude?
really good.
It's so
really
good. You have to watch it dubbed though. Don't watch it sub or no.
There's a dubbed version?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
In
God, I would have
Comanche.
fucking watched it by now.
Dude, yeah. There's a dub version, and the dub is so bad that it makes the show that much better.
I watched it. I watched subbed.
Go
I
back
watched
and
it
watch it
subbed.
dubbed again, and just the way that their inflection is, the way they deliver things. Like Aaron and I spent hours laughing at just the way they delivered lines, their inflection, just the way they handled things, and how they don't fit the situations. It's so bad, it's great.
I
Most
loved
dubbed.
this show, especially the story behind it. It's this like, wasn't it pretty low budget from what I'm remembering? Like this was not supposed to be a big hit. It was one of the foreign releases. It was those aren't
Yeah.
usually big hits, and it just exploded. I just love that. My understanding is like the director was like down on his luck, like
Yeah, it was,
really
like,
wasn't
dirt
doing well.
poor.
It was dirt poor.
Mhm.
This was like his like last ditch effort to like have something in the industry, and He made it big. I love that.
Yes, he did. And it's fantastic.
Yeah, Lance,
Yeah,
you
I
need to
didn't-
watch it.
I didn't. So my issue, I have severe ADHD, and it's really hard for me to watch a show and read the whole thing. Like, Parasite was torture for me. I love that movie, but I had to watch it like on 3 different sittings because I just missed pieces.
Well, here's the good news. This is, I think, an 8-episode show. You've got 8 different sittings.
Well, and it's subbed, so you don't have to, and it's dubbed, so you don't have to
Yeah, I didn't know that.
to
I
read.
didn't-
You can listen.
Yeah.
And you're saying it makes the show better, the dubbed.
It makes it better because of how bad the dub is.
Well, most dubs are bad. Like, that's why I can't watch anime, because it's like,
See, I
They're
don't
not-
have a problem with a lot of the anime dubs, but
Anime
It's-
doesn't bug me.
yeah, it's like movies that are dubbed.
Live
that are-
action dubbing, I struggle.
It took me about to the second episode to get over the fact that the words don't match the mouth, but it's just so bad, it's hysterical. But it is very twisted and suspenseful, man. Like they
Can I
definitely do
tell
a
you
good
the
job.
worst overdubbing story ever? Is this is an art house cinema in Hungary, in Europe. And sometimes they have movies that are overdubbed, sometimes they have movies that are subtitles, and sometimes they don't have either. So an employee of the theater, so you get a headsets, and you go watch the movie, and you put on your headsets, and an employee of the theater reads the script into a microphone.
Oh my goodness.
And it's usually like the same monotone voice, regardless of character or action. Hello, hi, I'm here. And that's how they play it. It's like some black and white Czechoslovakian movie or something.
I love that you have a laugh track. Can I just say that? Your mom just sits there, but like, I don't know if she's like sitting right next to you and she just laughs at everything you say, but it's like watching Big Bang Theory or something like that. Like, anytime you said something funny, your mom laughs. It's awesome.
Good times.
Oh man, I love your wife. She's awesome.
She's your cheerleader.
My wife can't even watch the show like after I'm done either.
I don't blame her. Half the time I can't even watch the show.
Fuck you.
I get jealous. I come home, I'm always late for the show just because of the way the store closes. And I come home and your mom's, she's already watching the show. She's in the chat. I'm like, what am I missing?
She's already bringing the
I
fire.
always like to watch the episodes when Lance isn't on. They're definitely more enjoyable.
Fuck you. Oh, I hate you both.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll probably start watching this tonight.
Do
You
it.
should.
Well, nobody will shut up about it. So I'm like, but I really didn't want to watch a show with subtitles. Who's not that
Yeah.
old?
It's
The show isn't that old.
No,
He's that
Hartman
old.
said he's that old.
I'm that old. I still have a laugh track.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, my wife stopped thinking anything I said was funny like a long time ago.
I'm hilarious.
you're hilarious.
And then there was like pin drop.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it by looking at Kelsey's face when he talks. So it's just
She's
Kelsey-
so busy admiring my chiseled cheeks and my
Oh,
beautiful
yeah.
beard.
chiseled out of
mane.
butter.
Yikes.
Hey,
Hey,
bro,
trust me, I get as many eye rolls as I
Hey,
do laugh track.
I've been lifting, bro. Look at these weights.
Chiseled out of butter. That's fucked.
Oh man.
Look at this iron I'm pumping. 3 pounds, baby. Going for tone.
Yeah, dude. Oh, my daughter. So she was playing doctor today and she checks my heart and she goes, "So what seems to be the problem?" This is Taylor. And I go, "Oh, I'm just tired all the time." She goes, "Oh, well, you need to exercise." So she brings me this 5-pound weight that she's struggling like hell to bring to me. And I toss it in the air and catch it. And she was like, thought I was the superhero. Like, I lifted the heaviest thing on the planet. That
It made
inflated
it
my
look like
ego.
it was nothing.
Yeah, inflated my ego a little bit.
Hey, that's easy to do with kids. When you can open things they can, it's like you have this magic power.
Right.
Yep.
Season 2 of the Mighty Ducks Game Changers has a solid street date with the spinoff series. Will once again take on to Disney Plus. Ice, the second season of the Mighty Ducks spinoff series, has officially landed a premiere date of September 28th. If you're a Mighty Ducks fan, It's worth watching season 1 if you haven't already. Hopefully season 2 is just as good as season 1.
As much as I rag on Disney products, I have to admit I'm kind of looking forward to this, and I did like season 1.
Because you're a hockey guy.
Yeah, and I'm a hockey guy. And it's
I'm
funny,
nervous.
me and your mom, we watched all the movies, like bang them all out, and then watched the season.
I don't think my mom has watched anything with you, Ish. She's never
No, she
seen
did.
you.
We watched D3 together. Me and your mom.
D3, these nuts. I like D2 better.
Mighty
D3's
Ducks for
terrible.
life.
There you go.
It was an all right show.
Some say that your mom has a tattoo across her back that says "The Quack Attack is back, Jack."
Oh, that's great.
Seth
She has a little
Rogen has
picture of
revealed.
Gordon Bombay in her wallet.
Well,
I
he's
thought it was
not in
on
this
your
next
wall,
season.
like a wall like Jesus with candles under it. It says "In Bombay We Trust."
No, that's we saved for Seth Rogen.
Oh, okay, yes.
So it's very
Well,
this
Seth
slide is
Rogen-
very timely.
has revealed the official title of the new release date for the upcoming animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. It's titled Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, and it will be in theaters 1 year from the day this was announced, which was August 4th, so it'll be August 4th, 2023. Because it was announced on August 4th, 2022.
I have a lot of
just yesterday.
faith in this. Like, I think it's going to be good.
Isn't this the shit where Donatello has like a snaggletooth and stuff? And
No, they
They wear
have a whole
glasses.
nother movie coming out, Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja
Yeah,
Turtles,
that's on
that he's not
Netflix.
involved with.
oh fuck,
This is him. Is this a continuation of the original trilogy, or is this a
I have
totally
no idea. There's not really been any information about it. Like, we got those few character mocks a few months ago that were really, really off-putting. But we haven't
character
really
mocks
seen.
from the Seth Rogen's?
Yeah,
show?
that's what they were saying. Yeah, they were storyboards from the actual movie, and they were much younger than normal. Yeah, we talked about it on the show.
All I want to know was Donatello wearing goggles, because I'm sick of that shit.
I can't remember.
But Donatello and goggles all the time. They fucking
But how else
Put
are you going to know
Michael-
that he's the tech one?
the purple. That's all we needed when I was a kid. Give them different colors and make one say cowabunga a lot. That's all we fucking needed. We don't need fucking goggles and piercings and I don't know. Raphael has a crack in his shell. I don't fucking know. I get
Raphael's
really-
a snapping turtle in the Rise one, and
yeah. He's the leader. Leonardo's like some goofy. I
he's like a
hate that
painter
show.
turtle. Yeah.
I hate that show.
But in Seth Rogen we trust, as Stick Boy says. I'm not a Seth
No.
Rogen fan.
dude, Seth
No.
Rogen's fucking making himself bank right now.
Yes, he is.
I don't
Between
think he
The
even cares
Boys.
if these fucking suck or are
Preachers.
awesome. He's not there for Mutant Ninja legacy. He's there for Mutant Ninja money.
No, I think Rogan is such a fan of this stuff. Like, he's such a comic book fan, and he's such a pop culture fan of this early 90s stuff that he grew up on, that he's gonna do it justice. Like,
Hey, guess
that's why
what? He said the same thing about the Green Hornet.
yeah, but everyone
He
gets
was
one.
still
Have we
right?
not
early in
learned
his
our
career.
lessons?
Everyone gets one because he came back from the Green Hornet to do. He's a writer and an executive producer of The Boys. He did Preacher. He's done a lot. He's done a few things since
He's
the
collecting.
Green
Is
Hornet.
it this
so,
one that you're
Paycheck after
talking about?
paycheck.
Is this it?
Yes.
I like this.
You do?
Yeah,
Well, this is
I-
a painting. This is a painting. It's not. This is storyboard. So
Yeah.
obviously it's like low, but like I like the overall design of it.
Is that the one where like Leonardo has braces?
I hate this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Okay, let me show
Max,
you
you're
the
such a
alternative.
hater.
Here's the alternative.
That's not any better.
That's
This is
wrong.
The
horrible.
tables have turned. Matt loves everything tonight. Max hates everything.
I don't say I love
This-
everything. I
I
just
don't
like,
like.
Prey.
Okay,
this
this
looks
one
more like
is a
this.
little better. No,
That's the comic book.
I'm just nostalgic for my 90s stuff and my 80s cartoons. And even the 2007 TMNT was pretty good. I'm just not a big fan of this. I don't like Seth Rogen really. Yes, I know he's produced some good stuff. I don't have much faith in this project. Yes, his laugh drives me crazy.
I just don't ever want to hear him sing.
You guys just
again.
hate Canadians.
That is
No, well, no,
not
it's-
true. Because Ryan Reynolds, I would divorce my wife for Ryan Reynolds right now.
Max hates Canadian pot smokers. It's just
Ryan Reynolds. I have a man crush
And
on
Rick
that Canadian.
Moranis can go in my will. I love that. man so
Plus-ish.
much.
Half of my family is Canadian. I don't hate Canadians. Come on.
that's not true.
Hey, you allow
That's
this
all the
Canadian
half-
on your show.
That's all the half though that have some really like differing beliefs than you though.
Well, yeah, I grew up in a red state, and they're from Canada, so yeah, we have different beliefs. Like, that's how it is.
Wait. Canada, I think there's a misconception. You leave, there's 3 cities that are big. The rest are some of the most redneckiest, hickest people you will ever meet.
Fair.
Yeah, have you
are
not
out
seen
redneck,
Letterkenny?
but they're not rednecks because the sun don't beat on your neck like that. So they're just called hicks.
They're hicks. Yeah, they're hicks.
Trust me.
Well,
That's probably, if you look at land mass, that could be the largest red state land mass in the world.
fair enough. I love
then
my
there's
Canadian
3
cousins,
cities at the
but they
border.
are differing in political opinions, and that's okay. It doesn't mean we can't love each other. This image is great, not that one.
This is
The
from
one
the
you had.
game. I
Yeah,
just
that's
want to. I
awesome.
just want to clarify, like the last few iterations that we've got, right? Despite it's not this one because this is from the video game, but this is Michael Bay's movie. They have fucking noses. Like, what the hell is this?
I honestly prefer that to what you were showing.
Oh,
me.
get the fuck off the show right now.
I don't like this either.
This is atrocious. This is atrocious. I can't even look at these and not want, like, my stomach not turn.
Yeah.
I did a whole article on Couch Crunchers about how much I hated this. I
Yeah.
never wrote articles. I was that passionate about this to write an article about it.
Yeah, I remember. I actually haven't seen the second one again. We saw it. We went to the movies for my birthday. I remember because it came out right around my birthday. We went and saw it, and I haven't seen it since theaters. I bought it because I like Ninja Turtles, and so I wanted to own it, even though I didn't like the movie much.
I have both
just
of them
saying-
on Blu-ray, and I haven't even opened the packages yet.
I've seen
When-
the first one, the first Michael Bay one, maybe twice, but the other
When-
one I haven't seen again.
When you look at this and then you look at this, obviously it's going to be updated. I would say this is closer to whatever one I was just clicking on than this will ever be. Or this
I
one.
mean,
I don't know.
yeah, they look like a bunch of Goombas and
Like, look at Donatello's the worst offender, in my opinion, because they take nerd and dork stereotype and amp it up to 100. I mean, the dude's got fucking
Yeah.
webcams on him.
I'm not arguing these movies are good. I don't like the way Donatello looks either. I don't like the way Raph looks. Leo and Mikey are the ones that I think look the best of these 4. They still, I'm not saying they look good though, but
He
they
gave them lips, human lips. This is as bad as Ugly Sonic. Human
Hey,
lips.
speaking of
I don't know the
awesome
last
movies,
time you saw a turtle.
Chat's talking
Turtles don't have
Garbage
lips.
Pail Kids.
What's that?
Chat's talking Garbage Pail Kids, the movie. Speaking of awesome movies.
I don't know. I hope the movie's good. I'm gonna see it. It's Turtles. Okay,
Hudson
I'm gonna go
Hawk's a
see it.
better movie than that.
I
Oh,
just
boy.
don't like this art.
Hudson
style.
Hawk is a dog shit movie.
You have to understand this is a storyboard. So it's drawn by some guy quick for a storyboard. But if
Okay.
this is the shape of them and
Exactly.
stuff,
It's concept art.
concept art,
Sure.
it's gonna look much better than this. I think it's CGI, isn't it? Or it's not CGI, computer animated, right? The show is gonna be.
probably.
Okay.
So it's gonna be more in
I
line
will-
with like this.
Okay, I like that.
This is from the TMNT,
Yeah,
the
The
fourth movie.
2007 movie. Yeah.
You like that? What
I-
about the picture on the right?
I just don't understand why they're so hard bent on just
I don't like Seth
destroying.
Rogen.
Yeah, but you liked
Oh, I
it. You
thought that-
liked some of his stuff. You liked American Pickle.
That's like the only thing that I think he's acted in that I liked. I like The Boys. I love The Boys, and I know he's an
Yeah, and
executive
he
producer on that.
He wrote a lot of those episodes. Him and Evan
And
Goldberg.
I'll be honest, a lot of the stuff that he's been in, I haven't seen because I see the trailer and I'm like, this looks terrible. I've seen a couple of his things that I like. Okay, I think I like 50-50. 50-50 was good. I'll give him that
Pineapple
one.
I'm a
Express
Seth
is one
Rogen-
of my favorite movies.
I'm a Seth Rogen mark, dude.
Pineapple Express is fine.
But that's all
But,
James
like,
Franco. Pineapple
The End of the
Express.
World or whatever. I don't like that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
love
you
that
got-
movie.
Yeah, that's a good one. Then you got The Neighbors with him and Zac Efron.
Never saw that one. Looks
Zac and
dumb.
Miri make a
all
porno.
right.
I'm not
That's
really into
pretty good.
R-rated comedies though. I don't really.
The was it called what was it that movie called with Zac Efron?
The Neighbors.
The Neighbors. Anna loved that one, Max. So I think you would. And she doesn't like Seth Rogen comedies that much either. So I think you would like that one. It's hilarious.
Maybe. I'm gonna be like my wife though when I tell her that she should watch a Will Ferrell project, and she says, "No, I hate Will Ferrell."
Oh, Will Ferrell.
I love Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell has some duds. Although I am looking forward
sure.
to that. What's that movie called? It's coming to Apple TV with him and Ryan Reynolds.
I don't know.
Spirited, I think it's like a Christmas Carol. But
Sounds
I've
like a
always
gem.
been a guy who says that Will Ferrell is he's better as like that goofy sidekick than he is the leading man. Although I do like some of his movies like Talladega Nights and Step Brothers.
yeah.
Oh, Talladega Nights and Step Brothers are great.
And
Why can I not? The New Guys?
the other
No,
guys.
The Other Guys. That is one of my favorite comedies. I love
you and
that
I saw
movie.
that in the theaters 3 times.
Well, I think we went and saw it in the Dollar Theater too.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of his basketball movie he did where he plays Jackie Moon.
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
Oh, that one
yes.
was all right. I like
But
that
have you
Stranger Than
watched-
Fiction. That one was good.
That is good.
Did you watch The Stranger Next or the Shrink Next Door?
I haven't seen that one.
That one is one that you should sit down with Kelsey and watch. It is
That's the one that I
fantastic.
said. Lance says we should watch this. It's not typical Will Ferrell, and she said no, it's Will Ferrell. I'm not watching.
Everything Must Go is a good one too, and
Yeah.
it's based in Scottsdale.
Oh, that's cool.
She needs to be not so prejudiced and watch that show because it's not a comedy. Well, I guess
I
it
know.
is funny, but it's not slapsticky like all of his other
Isn't
stuff.
Paul Rudd in that one too?
Yes, and he
Yeah.
plays a shrink, and it's based on a true story, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah. The only thing I think I've ever watched with her that Will Ferrell's in is The Office, and she doesn't like those episodes that he's in.
Yeah, I don't like anything after Michael Scott leaves, so I don't know.
Well,
All right,
Ish left. Ish, get the fuck back
well,
here.
while we wait for him to come back, I will say this. You've probably heard me say it on the show before that I don't know. I've said this many times before. I should wait to reserve judgment on a project until I've actually seen it or at least seen something from it. So while I'm not particularly excited about this Turtles movie, I am hopeful that it will be good. I've been wrong many times before. I thought the Joker was going to suck. I thought Peacemaker was going to suck. There have been plenty of other things I thought were going to be terrible, and they ended up being some of my favorite things. So
yeah, we're never talking Star Trek again. I give Ish the one chance after every week. He's like, "Let's talk Star Trek. Let's talk Star Trek. Let's talk Star Trek. Let's talk Strange New Worlds."
okay, well,
And
while
then
we
he goes
wait
to
for
take a
him.
dump.
Can I
He goes
just
to
keep
take
dumping
out-
on Turtles?
Oh, look, he's back.
Oh, well, he's back.
I was just
gonna
putting my
give
food
a
away. I'm
quick-
sorry, guys.
I was going to give a quick bullet train review, but
Putting his food away, aka dropping a deuce.
All right, Ish, let's get into
That'd
this.
be like an hour.
So
That's true. He's a grown man.
So to preface before we start talking about Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Ish has been asking for last 4 or 5 weeks Ish to talk about
4 or
this.
5 months
Sure.
Yeah, has-
to talk Star
to
Trek.
talk about this, and we love Ish so much that we decided to finally give him his due
Bless your hearts.
to talk about this.
Even though
And I
this is the
watched it.
segment where we lose all viewers,
Yeah, especially me who could even make it through one
Yeah.
episode.
Matt's just gonna fucking gloss over. His eyes are gonna roll back.
Now I did tell Matt that I thought the first couple episodes were a bit slow, but it definitely picks up a little bit before midway.
I thought the second episode it's one of the better episodes of Star Trek I've seen just in general. The one with the comet.
Oh yeah, I did like that one. Yeah, I think that's when I texted you. I said, "Hey Ish, this show's pretty damn good."
So
I
to
don't know.
talk
I
about
like
this
to
show,
Go
we
ahead.
got to give some context. With Star Trek fans, context is king. So back 1965, 1966, they filmed
Gene
a
Roddenberry
pilot.
was born in a log cabin.
Yes, Gene Roddenberry in his log cabin, and they pitched the Star Trek, and they filmed a pilot episode. And in that pilot episode, featured a captain called Captain Pike. It also had Spock and some other characters. And that pilot episode was never aired. It actually never even aired till the 1980s. So NBC hated the pilot episode. They said it was too cerebral, and they got shelved. And that starred, so they had chosen, who was kind of a medium to big movie star at the time, Jeffrey Hunter. So it was a big deal that they got him as the lead in their TV show. Anyway, the whole thing got scrapped. They redid it. William Shatner, they ended up creating the character James T. Kirk, and the show started. A couple episodes in, they actually, in season 1, they fell behind by 2 episodes. And if they couldn't deliver 2 episodes to NBC, the show would get canceled. So Gene Roddenberry took that original pilot, which was black and white, by the way, and he re-edited it into a 2-part episode called The Menagerie. And for Star Trek fans, that's a very, very famous episode. And that brought this Captain Pike back into the continuity and back into canon. And it was, henceforth established that the captain of the Enterprise prior to Kirk was Captain Pike. And that was pretty much the most. We never saw Captain Pike ever again. But it was there.
He was in the new movies.
James Tiberius Kirk.
That's true, but those don't count. That's the franchised Star Trek. That's not real Star Trek. Let's not even go out there with that.
Wow, we got a real and a franchise Star Trek now?
Yeah, I like it all, but okay.
And so, 60 years later, right, we've had Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, all those other shows. And then we come to this new age of streaming. It was originally called CBS All Access. They became Paramount Plus with the whole merger. They got bought out by Viacom. And they decided their flagship for the platform was, again, going to be Star Trek. And then the show they came up with was Star Trek Discovery, which is now 4 seasons in. Now, the spoiler alert, the final cliffhanger for season 1, which had to do, the whole season had to do with a ship called Star Trek Discovery, which took place about 10 years before Captain Kirk in the original series. And so, people were wondering, well, how are they going to fill the gaps? Are we going to get cameos or this or that? And then we got the big reveal at the end, the final episode of season 1. The Enterprise shows up, and it's Captain Pike. So Captain Pike is back.
I took my headset off so I wouldn't hear the spoiler, but I still heard it.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's not really that spoiler. It's just like an amazing moment when the Enterprise, if you're a Star Trek fan, and finally, 60 years later, they brought back the original Enterprise, and it shows up. It was absolutely glorious. And season 2 of Discovery, which I highly recommend, was all about Captain Pike, the Enterprise, Spock, and how they dealt with whatever the storyline of Star Trek Discovery was at the time. That was such a popular season that, of course, it made sense. They're going to do a spin-off show.
Dude,
here we are, Strange New Worlds, which is Captain Pike and the Enterprise pre-Captain Kirk. So there you go. That's the context of why this show exists and how we got there.
Is Anson Mount in Discovery then as Pike?
Correct. Anson Mount, who plays Black Bolt in the Marvel movies, is Captain Pike. And Gregory Peck, I don't know if you know that legendary actor, his grandson plays Spock. And I think he's done a terrific job.
That.
Yeah.
Rebecca
Stick Boy says
same.
Go ahead, Lance.
Oh, I was going to say Rebecca remains in it.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say, Stick Boy says, man, a whole Star Trek lesson in less than 5 minutes. Eric says, wiki-ish. Hartman says, is this relaxation music to a sleep to channel?
Don't hate on Trek. Come on.
And then Stick says, your eyes are getting heavy.
Oh my gosh. These are all.
I think the show is excellent. Star Trek Discovery, which I like, and I'm remaining loyal to and watching. It's kind of up and down, has its, this and that, but Strange New Worlds kind of right off the bat established itself that this is going to be actual science fiction. They're not going for all like this stupid soap opera stuff. Notable, the second episode, just a quick synopsis. It's a very traditional kind of Star Trek
synopsis.
The synopsis. There we go. So this comet is heading straight for this planet, and it's going to wipe out all the inhabitants of that planet. So of course, Enterprise's job is to science the shit out of that comet and get it to move out of the path. But it turns out that this comet is actually considered a deity by another civilization that's actually in another galaxy. And when they find out someone's about to mess with their deity, they show up and they're far superior technologically to us at the time. And so we get this great, classic science fiction conflict of they have to do this to save these people, but then they have to deal with these other people who see the whole thing as a threat. It's great stuff. They solve it with science. So I'm stressing that point, and that's what science fiction's about. That's what Star Trek's about.
Well, is that the one where she sings to it?
Wait, there's nobody that like slices the the thing with a laser sword or
No.
No
uses
laser
magic?
swords, no pew pew pew. I mean, there's action scenes, of course,
Well, I know there is.
but they've really the writing really stresses that this is a science fiction show, and conflicts and crises and those types of situations will be solved, primarily through science.
I saw a TikTok video the other day of Joe Mangiano. How do you say his name? The one that was going to play Deathstroke. Do you know who I'm talking about? He's married to
Oh yeah,
Migliano?
Migliano.
yeah, something like that. Where he's talking about how Star Wars is sci-fi, and that's always frustrated me because
Yeah, it's
Star Wars to me
He
is
says it's fantasy. I thought in that video.
He does, but he says it's very much sci-fi as well. And to me, that it does not fit the description of science fiction. Star Trek fits that description of science fiction because they actually use science to kind of solve these issues, and they go in and explore these worlds, and they're actually like researching and stuff.
Yeah.
So when people say they're science fiction fans and then they say, "Well, I love Star Wars," it's always kind of irked me a little bit. Like in Star Wars,
I always say
fine.
Star Wars has more in common with Lord of the Rings than it does with Star Trek.
It's fantasy in space.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a
Space
fantasy.
doesn't
why
mean
I like
sci-fi.
it so
Just
much.
because you're in space, it's not sci-fi.
Yeah,
I agree.
I disagree.
and I'm
with
not
that
trying to
assumption.
rag. I'm not trying to rag on Star Wars at all. But all I'm saying is that if you are a true science fiction fan,
We'll just go ahead and take care of that for everyone who's
Oh man.
who is offended by his Star Wars take right now.
but
I
it's
see
but
nothing
it's
wrong
true.
with his
I
take.
see,
He's
I see
right.
3 other people
No, I know.
agreeing with me, or 2 other people.
Listen,
But what I'm
we
saying-
don't hawk Trek here, all right?
I'm just saying that.
We do now, Matt.
No.
I'm just saying that Star Wars is fine. It's great. Like I like the newer Star
I
Wars.
love Star Wars
especially.
too.
I agree
But-
with Lance.
Old Star Wars.
Star Wars is not sci-fi, boo.
Yeah,
I think we
There
pretty
you
much
go.
all agree. All right, so
Star
so-
Wars is a fantasy sci-fi opera.
Yeah, so I have a question, Ish.
Yes.
You're enjoying this new Star Trek stuff. Shatner said that he feels like Roddenberry would be rolling in his grave.
He said that was a joke.
Oh, okay.
That he was messing
I was
around
just-
with Kevin Smith when he said that, and of course the media has to completely fucking blow that up.
Okay, I was just wondering. I'm like, why would he say that? Like,
If he
Other
was saying
Trek
it, it
fans.
might have been because he saw Picard season 2.
yeah, I've heard bad.
That
things
was
about
fucking hot, smelly poop. Picard
So
season
bad.
2 was so bad. Season 1 very good. I watched it twice. Season 2 was oh my, it was bad.
yeah.
maybe
My
that's what Shatner
Goldberg
saw.
came back.
There's also Star Trek Lower Decks, which is an animated spoof, but
Yeah,
it's one of
which
those
is- it's pretty
spoofs
funny.
that requires you you have to have seen like 800 hours of Star Trek to get a lot of the jokes. They cut deep on that, and I like
It's
that
pretty
show a
funny.
lot too. And they did announce at Comic-Con that they're doing a crossover with Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks, so I'm really excited for that.
Nice.
Yeah, they each episode like tackles like a different. They have like a horror episode where they're being like hunted by this
The
like,
Gorn.
alien parasite. Yeah,
The Gorn is from the classic series. It's from a very famous episode with Kirk
And
and the
it's-
Gorn just fight each other on a planet.
It's like horror filled. There's like jump scares in it and stuff. It's fucking awesome. And that's what I like about some of these shows is that each episode kind of has a different feel to it. They have that kind of funny body switching episode. You remember Spock and his
Yep,
fiance switch bodies, and they got to go through all this shit to kind of like carry on their daily lives, and it has like a moral of the story at the end of it and stuff. But each
She has to
episode,
learn to stand when she pees. He has to learn to sit.
but each episode kind of tackles like a different type of theme or tone to it, and the performances in it are great. I think everybody does a great job. My favorite may be the female doctor though.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where they're recasting iconic characters, right? That's never an easy task. And they've done a great job. I love the new Spock. I love the new Uhura. And by the way, we've got to mention that original Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, passed away last week.
Mhm.
Her role in Star Trek was groundbreaking to the point where even Martin Luther King Jr. had a talk with her and was like, you cannot leave Star Trek right now. You're the most important Black American in entertainment right now because you're sitting on board that starship in a command position.
It was the first real time that a Black actress was like a huge prominent television role,
and her
right?
character was an important character. It wasn't just the servant or something.
Yeah, she wasn't like token.
She was an
Like,
officer. She was the
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Is it Lynette Nichols? What's her name?
Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah. And then the actress that plays her in this show is very good too. Like, and plays
Yeah,
a very
she's done a great
prominent role.
job. Yeah, and
I
they
can't really
they've
complain about
introduced
anybody
several.
in this show.
Yeah, I have one gripe with the security officer. That's a whole other nerd alert. That has to do with, I guess she's a descendant of Khan from the movie Wrath of Khan.
The one that was attacked by the Gorn when she was a child,
Yes.
or Rebecca Romaine.
No, the one attacked by the Gorn. She reveals herself to be an augment.
Right.
And her name's Noonien Singh. So if you've seen Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, he is Khan Noonien Singh. So I'm like, all of a sudden his granddaughter served on the Enterprise and nobody ever knew. And it's a very weird plot hole. I can't get over
Well,
it.
if it's before the original, if it's before Picard or before Kirk, wouldn't that be like he be her descendant? Like she be
because
grandmother?
he's actually from our time and he was in suspended animation in space.
Okay.
And that's in one of the episodes. They find a ship with all these people hibernating.
Space Seed.
And they wake them up. It's called Space Seed, and they wake them up. And one of them turns out to be Khan Noonien Singh,
He's
who
Fry
was
from
like
Futurama.
who was an overlord
Yeah.
of Earth, this former tyrant who was sent out into exile. So he tries to take over the Enterprise, and that leads into one of the most popular movies of the whole series, Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Mm-hmm.
And now for her to shoehorn in a descendant of his, I don't know, it's very weird.
But it would have been before all that stuff happened.
Correct. So that's why. So Spock never tells Kirk, like, "Hey, by the way, I served with his granddaughter," right? And then Khan, when he takes over the Enterprise, he memorizes the entire database of the entire Federation of planets. So he would have been like, "Oh, my descendants served aboard this ship."
Well, is this really in line with everything? Like, or is this kind of a reboot?
See, they said it's in line. This is all prime timeline stuff. It's all going to connect, but I think they've switched courses now, and it's turning into going to be a reboot. Like, I'm pretty much preparing myself to, like, it's going to be different stuff from now on. Stuff's going to be different. It's not necessarily going to align with the original series anymore, which if they do it right, I'm fine with, because who shows, I don't know. Have you seen the final episode?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
watched
who shows up.
Released.
So it's like there's like a big deal people show up in this show. And it's already
we all know about it here.
different.
We talked about it.
Kirk shows up in the last episode.
Yeah, it's the dude from
Correct.
Vampire Diaries. We talked about it on the show. We showed a still.
Okay.
of it.
Well, and he makes mention to him in the first episode that I watched, the half of the first episode I watched. They say that he like a lower officer.
It's his brother. His brother is serving on the ship.
His brother's
which is
on
kind of in
Enterprise.
line with canon, because that's true. And then when they show Kirk, he's captain of the Farragut, which he was before the Enterprise and before Pike. But I guess I'm preparing it. It's going to be a little different, which gives them, they got to give a little breathing room to do what they need to do and not necessarily be worried. Am I following the Bible from the 1960s Star Trek?
I got to say, I love this because I'm not a Trekkie. My Trek knowledge comes mostly from the J.J. Abrams stuff, and I know you hate it, Ish. And I liked those movies because I don't really have any other exposure to Star Trek other than watching a few episodes here and there growing up. So anyway, I'm not a Trek guy, but we all know I'm huge into Star Wars, and I'm loving all these new shows coming out. And they're filling in the timelines and stuff, and this is that for Star Trek for you. And so I just think it's really cool. Like I think it's exciting that
it is how you describe for us Trekkies, or the hardcore people were Trekkers. This is, this is what we've been waiting for. Shows like this particularly strange.
And it's
nice. It's got the new high tech, and it looks the effects, but even the look of the ship when they're sitting in the bridge and they go to red alert, it is amazing. It looks, the eye candy is incredible.
There's no lens flares.
No lens flares. Discovery has some lens flares, but
shout out to Stick Boy who took the time while you're doing your Trekkie talk to make this.
I want to say how nice it is to hear. I don't consider myself. I like Star Trek, but I don't consider myself a Trekkie, really, or a Trekker.
It's
or whatever
Trekker.
it is. But
no.
It's
You're
nice
a
to
Trekkie
hear
at this point.
it's nice to hear someone who is like devoted to the franchise come out and say, you know, it's okay that they're changing some things. Like, I'm going to sit and watch it. And like, because Star Wars, I mean, we debated it forever.
Ish making the rest of us look bad.
You know what I mean? We debated the whole Leia thing forever. How does she know Obi-Wan? Da, 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 da. You get so pissed when things don't follow the canon. Like all these other franchises get so pissed when there's plot holes. And to hear somebody who's probably more devoted to this franchise than anybody I know, it's probably Ish, to hear him say, you know, it's okay. Like, I'm going to sit here and watch it and see what happens. And I think they're going to reboot it, and that's fine. Why can't all fans be?
You know what? I don't feel this way about Lord of the Rings. That's why I'm so nervous about this new series. They're going to change stuff, and it's going to be not Tolkien, and I'm going to fucking lose my mind.
See,
Well,
and I'm
why
okay
is
with
that
them changing
okay?
Stuff and Tolkien stuff.
Why is that okay? But or why is this okay, but that isn't?
I don't know. Maybe just because. I guess if
The
they do it,
emotional
if
connection.
the Lord of the Rings series changes stuff, but it's still awesome, then I'll be okay. But
Because like the biggest beef that people had with Obi-Wan is that it didn't make sense as far as canon wise. But I still thought the show was great. But there was people that
Your mom says Ish and I met fighting about Star Trek on Facebook. There's a lot of Trek love,
specifically
floating around
fighting
in
about
him.
the J.J. Abrams movies.
she likes them, you don't.
No, she pretended to like them just to troll me, and I got all triggered.
See, I like them, but I fully understand it's not Star Trek. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
like I've watched a lot of Star Trek, like the original series. I've watched Next Frontier and
Next Gen.
all these
Next
things.
Generation.
Next Generation, thank you. I've watched all these things, and then I watch those J.J. Abrams movies, and they just seem like space action movies. You know, not Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of Star Trek in name only, and I can look past it, and they're a lot of fun. But I don't understand the hate, because if you can separate that, I think that you can enjoy them. I don't know.
That's tough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate those movies.
Lance
I've seen
gets it
them
'cause he
all. I
doesn't-
own different versions of them, couple DVD versions, all the Blu-ray versions. I'm such a sucker. They still get my money every time.
Your mom says Lance gets it. He only gets it because he doesn't have a loyalty to either side. He's not invested in either franchise.
Well, I mean, I took a Star Trek class in high school. They offered a class that was science fiction, and basically it was all Star Trek and a little bit of Twilight Zone sprinkled in. Like I'm probably a bigger Twilight Zone fan than I am Star Trek, but like I feel like I can do that often, where I can separate like, oh, this is a pandering thing, but the movie is still decent. Like the new James Bond movie doesn't feel like a typical James Bond movie, but I still like it. I still thought it was really fun to watch.
I guess
don't
I
know.
struggled with the J.J. Abrams movies because we didn't have anything else. And that's basically the landscape for Star Trek was this is what it's going to be from now on. Now that they got the whole Paramount Plus, I'm like, okay, those movies can exist over there.
And that's how a lot of
Put 'em under the
Disney,
rug.
or that's how a lot of Star Wars fans feel. They hate the sequels. They're like, oh, is this what we're getting now? And yeah, that can be tough, man. If you like a franchise and it's not going the way you want.
I hated the lens flares. Hate them with a fiery passion.
Yeah, fucking J.J. Abrams. He made like the worst Star Wars movies, the worst Star Trek movies.
Yeah, it's
He gets paid big money to make things people don't like.
Stick Boy says Ish,
A
I have
lot of
some
money.
Laserdisc Star Trek if you'd be interested in buying them.
You're assuming
Yeah,
I don't
he
have
kinda-
them already.
J.J. Abrams reminds me of Zack Snyder, like cheap movie, like tricks to like make it look stylized and artistic, but it's not. It's just fucking lens flares, or it's a shaky camera or something. You know
I
what
feel
I mean?
like all the directors have that though, because like Michael Bay's explosions.
Well, Michael Bay is a sucker. Like that dude uses explosions from other movies and puts them into his movie. You know, Transformers has a car crash scene that is from Bad Boys,
Yes.
and he re-edited it and put it into Transformers. Like that's just lazy, in my opinion. But whatever. Pain
I
and
mean,
Gain
a
is
lot of
pretty good
movies
movie,
do
though.
that. Do you know I kind of have thought about one day when I'm like super bored and can't sleep or something, going back to see how many times they've reused the shot when someone's going to the Miami airport of the Miami sign with the plane flying over it. Like how many times that shot's been reused in how many different movies?
Or the Willem scream. The Willem scream has been used for 100 years.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Or the same bird call, regardless of where you are on the planet Earth, it's the same fucking bird in every movie.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Willem
there's a
scream. They
lot
did
of
a
stuff.
documentary on the Willem scream. And I
Yeah,
watched
every
it.
Star
But-
Wars movie has one. Like tons of movies do that. Or there's a scene I can't remember what it's from. I think it's in Spider-Man 2. There's a scene of like these people looking up into the sky about something, and it's like a shot that's used in a ton of other movies. Like it happens all the time.
Yeah, but Michael Bay, I mean, I don't know. I just feel like he's the most notorious for it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems so cheap.
One of my favorite things to do is watch old movies and like laugh at the parts that actually probably weren't part of the movie that somebody put in voiceover later on. Like Ish was talking about D3.
Oh, you're talking about
Mighty-
Dark Knight Rises, the whole thing?
Well, no, I'm talking like Ish was talking about D3 the Mighty Ducks earlier, and there's a part at the end where the JV and varsity teams are facing off, and like there's people in the crowd like, oh God, get a good one. And like it doesn't even fit like what's going on. And it's supposed to be his mom, Charlie's mom, and her mouth isn't even like moving or saying exactly what she's saying, and people are just like cheering and yelling in the background. Like I just like to laugh at things like that. There's so many movies that have stuff like that I catch.
Max kind of looked cross-eyed at me when I said Dark Knight Rises.
I like Dark Knight Rises.
Tom Hardy had to re-record his voice through the whole
I know.
thing.
I was pissed about it. I liked the original.
No, that
I can
was
understand a
overdubbed
fucking word
by
he said.
Sean Connery.
I could understand it. I thought
That
it
was Sean
sounded,
Connery's final
it
performance.
sounded so much cooler. And then in the final version of the movie, they cranked his volume up too high to where he's like 30% louder than everybody else. I
because
didn't
no
like it.
one could understand him. That's
I
really
could.
important
I
in
loved
a
it.
movie.
It's hard for me to even find versions of the original trailer. I liked it. I thought it
They
sounded
should have
so
just
cool.
thrown him in the luchador mask.
That's my issue with it's not Tenet. What's the other one what's the other movie that he did where you don't
Venom?
know? Oh yeah, Venom. He's just
Inception.
mumbling the whole time. Inception. You don't know what the fuck this dude is. He does it in every
I
movie.
guess
It's
I
called-
can understand him just fine. I have no issue understanding.
I have
him.
a hard time like understanding people when they mumble as it is. That's why I watch subtitles on basically everything I watch. Subtitles is like always on my screen because sometimes I have to rewind and be like, "The fuck did he just say?"
Maybe that's the only way he can do an American accent is if he mumbles.
Oh yeah, he's
Hey.
British, huh?
It's Evan.
What's
Epic
up,
Evan.
buddy?
We do have to
Thanks for
watch our
joining the
language
show.
now. Evan is a young viewer.
Oh,
Poop, fart,
Well, that didn't stop us with Quantum.
vomit.
Pretty sure we
I apologize for his potty mouth. We will remove that nuisance from the chat or from the show. I was
No,
all
now he's
right
just
with
gonna
poop,
leave.
but when he went with fart, he went too far.
Pee.
Fart took him too far.
Hey, boys and girls, what story are we telling today? Let me get my trusty blue jacket.
And you're gone for that. Yeah, time out for that one. But what we're kind of done with our topics tonight. Ish, what came out of the shop?
Are
this
we done
week
with
that-
Star Trek?
or do you want to be done with, do you have more on Star Trek?
No, I can talk Star Trek all night long.
Well,
I just want to put it out. It was season 1, 10 episodes. I recommend it. You know, if you like it, there's you pay the monthly subscription. There's a lot of other Star Trek to watch. There's quite a lot of content on Paramount Plus.
I don't think Paramount Plus is that expensive, is it?
No, it's like $6.99 or something.
Yeah, I think it's one of the cheaper ones, and there's a lot of good stuff on there.
That is
Use the button.
$10.79 after tax.
Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm looking forward to
that's
season
okay.
2. It's apparently already in the can. They already filmed season 2, but I think we have to wait.
In
like
the
a year
can
for
here
it.
is a good thing, not thrown in the can like Batgirl.
Correct. Not Warner Brothers in the can. You know what?
Matt's
Can
rubbing his
we
face
go
like
back to the Warner
fucking
Brothers
lads.
thing?
I wish they would open that can, like that match, drop it in, and then go about their business. But yeah, let's go back to the Warner Brothers thing.
So I just want to say this. So Warner Brothers is like one of the fucking oldest movie studios on the planet. Hollywood was founded by Warner Brothers, MGM, Fox. Fox is gone. MGM was bought by Amazon.
Fox
and now
hasn't
Warner
been around that
Brothers.
long.
What's that?
Fox hasn't been around
Fox?
that long, has it?
Yes. Yeah, since like the 1920s.
Really? I didn't know that. Oh wait, yes, I
Like
did.
20th Century
TV
Fox, all that. Yeah.
the Fox TV channel.
And now
hasn't
Warner
been around
Brothers
that
is being bossed around by the Discovery Network. Like what this is a totally new world order when it comes to Hollywood and entertainment.
Well, it's
I
happening
mean,
everywhere.
we've had this for a couple decades with corporations running the show. But literally you get Discovery Network, which now I was thinking like, how are they so powerful? It's because literally like the Home and Garden Network and 90 Day Fiance, those shows.
Big
get
Ed, shout out Big Ed.
Crazy. They get crazy amounts of viewers, crazy ratings to the point where they're bossing around movie studios and DC Comics and Warner Brothers. To me, that's crazy, but that's the future. That's where we're headed now.
I do think that they are being very cautious that they want to do this right because it's been fucked for so long.
Well,
right?
they need to turn a profit is what they need to do.
Yeah. So some of the stuff that David Zaslav or whatever his name is said about finding somebody to run the ship, finding, having a 10-year plan, taking it slow, like coming out with quality content. These are all good things. Now it's another thing of whether or not they'll be able to do it. But look at what you just said, dude. Fox is gone, right? Disney bought them. MGM now owned by Amazon.
Amazon bought,
Warner Brothers now owned by Discovery. It's all mega corporations now that are running these things. I mean, I actually prefer Discovery, who's actually in the media business, owning a movie studio more than I do AT&T.
Listen,
Fair
I
enough.
think all of those stupid home improvement shows are absolute, and I will never watch any one of those shows again.
You know
in
which
my
one
life.
I actually really like is the one
I
with
love
Tim
Homestead
Allen.
Rescue.
That's on History Channel.
Which one?
What?
The one with Tim Allen.
Oh, it is? I just watched
Yeah,
it on Hulu. I didn't
It's
even know
on
that.
History Channel. The
Assembly required or assembly?
Yeah, some assembly required with him and the dude.
Is
who
it
played
History
Al
Channel
Moreland.
part of the Discovery Network?
It might be, probably, but I like Forged and Fire. Like I like the History Channel shows, but yeah, I mean, my mom and fiance watch a stupid, like that's all my mom watches is
Big Ed.
TLC, the stupid
That's
ass.
Kelsey.
Like,
Dude, Big
Max's
Ed
wife.
got his own spin-off show, and
Yeah.
$90 million Batgirl gets put on a shelf. But Ed,
Yeah.
he gets his own show.
Big Ed, man, shout out, big ups to Big Ed, man.
I
got a
just
neck.
think I just think it's crazy that HBO Max is going away next year.
Well, we don't know
Ah,
that.
they're not going away.
No, David
Well, they're all
Zaslav
merging
came
into
out and
one.
said it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
merging
going to
to
merge
one
into
new
one app.
Yeah,
but-
He's saying that the app technology that HBO Max is going to be gone. It's going to be merged with Discovery Plus, but they're using the app technology that Discovery Plus has because HBO Max apparently. Now I haven't encountered many of these, but HBO Max apparently has a lot of technical issues.
it does. It
I
crashes.
have
a lot.
issues. I have issues with HBO Max.
I don't think
pretty
mine's
regularly.
ever crashed.
Mine crashes all the time.
Mine
I
does
get more
too,
issues
or-
with Amazon
or it
Prime
won't.
than
It
anything.
won't play videos. But
So,
I've been
yeah,
having
there's-
issues with Hulu too.
They're shuttering both and going to have the team that developed Discovery Plus, and this came up from the CEO. The team that developed Discovery Plus is going to build a whole new app.
That's all right.
I just hope the price doesn't go up.
Yeah, if the
Like-
price is the same as HBO Max, I'm fine with it.
I think the price will have to go up. Even if
Right
it's a couple
now,
bucks.
I mean, they're $5 less than Netflix, and Netflix is the most expensive, and Netflix is losing like bleeding subscribers right now at the $20 price point. I don't see anything being sustainable over $15.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
But
know.
anything else? You guys got anything else you wanna
Go watch
touch on?
Paper Girls.
Paper Girls is fantastic.
Paper Girls was awesome.
Matt,
all
what'd you
8
pick up this
episodes.
week?
I already put my books away. So I picked up Spider-Man Exodus. Hold on, I can pull it up. I got an app here that shows
Dude,
me.
the B cover variant for the new G.I. Joe was fire. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, it's pure G.I. Joe nerd goodness.
I
You
picked
know
up
what-
Batman 126. I picked up this Spider-Man variant for Moon Knight 14.
Okay.
I picked up Spider-Man Exodus 2099 because I'm a mark for first appearances in this book, apparently, because every issue had a first appearance. I picked up.
There was a debate in the shop that X-Men 2099 already exists, and I feel like it does.
They
But the
do,
comic
but it's
clearly says this is a
different-
first appearance.
It's a different iteration of the team.
So it's just a different lineup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Red Hood, Batman White Knight Red Hood. Picked that up. First appearance of a new Robin.
That name just confuses me. Batman, White Knight, Red Hood.
Yeah.
Did you see any of the swimsuit variants
For what? For what?
for DC Comics? This is the new
No,
thing.
I
They have
didn't.
swimsuit variants, and some of
What?
them are just fucking ridiculous.
I
Like
picked up.
Batman wearing the cowl.
Oh my gosh,
and a
I'm looking at him
speedo
right
standing
now
on the beach. Like,
Oh yeah.
with a dude pushing a beach ball behind him.
I picked up like 3 covers for Edge
Wow.
of Spider-Verse 1. I got the
did you
connecting
get the
cover.
Spider Rex. Yeah,
I got the
think
Spider
that's
Rex
what it is,
cover.
like-
Superman.
yeah. This is so bad. I don't know who they try
Let
to
me
appeal
pose.
to.
Let me pose all sexy behind my cousin.
I got the.
By the way,
and then I
Eric
got
Williamson pre-ordered every swimsuit variant. I'm just
I'm
calling
sure
him
he
out
did.
on the show right
'Cause
now.
This
And then I
makes
got the
total
Scotty
sense.
Young
Bruce
book
Wayne's gonna go
cover
to the
that.
beach.
Bill
his
said
cowl.
Bill said this variant was banned from the shop. Bill's like, I've been a
one's a
Spider-Man
bit
fan for 40, 50 years, or a Batman fan, and he just said no. With that variant is not entering our doors.
This one looks a bit better, even though
Yeah.
like
Does it though? Does it?
how many superheroes do you think wear their own branded swim trunks?
Damian Wayne.
Why do
would.
we want to see them splashing around in a pool?
No, I think it's stupid. But when you have to look at a consensus of all of them, this one's not as bad as some of the others. This one's horrible. This one
Yeah,
is
It's doing
This one
spread
is
eagle
like
right in your face.
George R. Martin level creepiness right here. She's posting all seductively, and meanwhile Clark's in the back. I don't fucking get it, dude. Whatever.
I picked up.
Who is
What else
this?
did I get?
This is Aquaman.
I got the Closet number
That's
3, which
Shazam. No,
I'm loving that series right
The
now.
Closet by James Tinian.
Yeah, I think issue 3 was the final issue, wasn't it? I believe it is.
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, this one
And-
actually looks kind of cool.
Super good. I picked up the Dead Lucky from Image number 1, and then I picked up Ellie's the Ablaze book for Logan's collection. So that was all I picked up this week.
Is this foreshadowing her taking over the Pirates of the Caribbean role?
Sure, Lance.
Sticks boy. All of a sudden, I'm the poor knowledge king. I don't know how that happened.
Dude, look at he's even got a little package in here.
For all you Nightwing fans,
Yeah, you get to see a package there.
Yeah, that seems to be yeah, that's a thing for them. They're like over sexualizing Nightwing a lot now.
Wonder Woman's like fantasizing over
and then
Vivian's ass or
DC,
something.
wonders why none of these
is
comics are in
weird.
the top 50 in sales.
What's coming out
So
next
that one's
week?
nice. That has actually some art to it.
Yeah,
Do you
this
know
one's
what's coming
really
out
well
next
drawn.
week that people should keep their eyes peeled for ish?
Ooh, for next week. I'm not prepared. I need to see a list. Do you have a list? for next
Spider-Man
week's
number
books?
7, The Return of Norman Osborn.
Okay.
I think will be one. What 8 Billion Genies number 4. That's probably gonna be a
Okay.
hot seller.
Probably an
Ghost
Axe
Rider.
Judgment Day.
Is
You got
Sinbad in that
Ghost
one?
Rider Vengeance Forever number 1. Deceased War of the Undead Gods number 1.
That actually has a cool body bag variant. So it comes in a poly bag that's made to look like a Gotham PD zippered up body bag.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
You know what?
And
cover,
the other variant is one of those acetates. So maybe that's one to jump on is the Deceased. It's
G.I.
got some
Joe has
cool
the Best of
covers.
Storm Shadow book coming out.
the Andromeda cover looked pretty cool. Aquaman, the one that you showed on your video ish.
Yes. Yeah, that book
I
has
thought that
some,
cover
some
looked pretty cool.
very cool art with the Black Manta, but kind of with this red tint
Mhm.
to it.
I thought that looked really cool.
These variant covers are. I mean, the next week's kind of a light week. There isn't a whole lot.
So you guys remember how I was telling you the latest Harley Quinn episode has a Court of Owls orgy scene in it?
Yeah.
Apparently DC's getting roasted right now because if you go to the kids section, that Harley Quinn episode's in it.
Oh,
Oh,
my
boy.
goodness.
Nice.
On HBO Max?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I'd be pissed if my kids stumbled across that. Oh gosh. There's literally a scene with Harley Quinn like pleasuring Poison Ivy in that show. Like it's not for
Right.
kids.
We
Oh,
just
well.
all pause to visualize.
Yep.
You know, in that the last episode, there's a scene with Batman rubbing Catwoman's feet, and originally Batman was going down on Catwoman, and DC said, "No, you can't do that," and instead he's rubbing her feet, and she's cracking
Yeah.
jokes about how he sucks at it.
You know, listen.
What show was that?
Everybody wants
Harley
to eat
Quinn.
the kitty.
Oh,
Harley Quinn's got to eat the kitty. All right, so just kind of a reminder as we're finishing up here to close out the show, we are grinding in on 500 subs. We are at 482 subs. Once we hit 500 subs, Stumbling Jedi is giving away a CGC 9.8. Something's Killing the Children #1. I think it's the comic shop variant or something like that.
He's giving away a signed dick pic too, right? No?
Yeah,
Did I just-
that apparently is coming also.
Nice.
But so yeah, we're looking forward to that. Let's get to 1,000 subs. I want to try to get to 1,000 subs by
Me too.
November. That would be amazing. So
how long do you think it would take me to eat 1,000 subs?
I,
I kind of eat them like 2 at a time. Well, I'm not going to do that gesture ever again.
Oh my god. I am screen grabbing that later.
Good gesture.
Hey, did
All right,
Max and Lance? Did you guys watch SummerSlam?
Really happening right now?
No.
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 That is your mom. Is that really happening right now?
Dude,
I
Matt,
watched
how great was
SummerSlam.
SummerSlam?
It was actually a surprise.
It was
very
so
good.
entertaining. Almost, I
Very
think
well.
every match had something, some entertainment value in it. And then
I
the
had no
ending was
interest in
just, the ending was like, this is why little boys love wrestling. A fucking Viking met a Roman god, and then they settled it with tractors.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar came in with a tractor, and he scooped up the entire rink and it threw Roman Reigns over. Like, it was pure mayhem. It was glorious.
Shades of OG Stone Cold.
You would
Steve
you would have
Austin.
no clue that there's all sorts of controversies going behind the scenes. You'd have no idea because their event was, I don't want to say flawless, but it was pretty close. That SummerSlam was epic.
Yes, it was. It was very, very good.
A tractor.
So, Ish and I are actually going to be doing a wrestling podcast called Absolute Geek Podcast, Ringside, where we're going to review wrestling content from the WWE, probably AEW, NXT, through the week. We just have to figure out what day we're going to record that and put it out. And so, if you're here for more wrestling, that's on the way. Of course, we got quickies. We need more quickies.
You know, your interview with
It's always
CM
time for a
Punk,
quickie.
I loved it when he started saying he grew up on Larry Hama G.I. Joe. That was like,
Oh yeah.
I got to be a
released the
CM
film
Punk
review.
fan now when he says shit
Yeah.
like that. You know, and he's like, you know, anything Jason Aaron, he picks up and reads. This guy, he knows his comic. He wasn't just posing. I felt that.
He does.
He really was.
Jericho's
Your
the
mom
one that
just yelled
surprised
nerd
me.
in the background.
He did.
Yes.
Jericho's the one that surprised me with his comic book knowledge and that he was a Teen Titans fan and dropping Marv Wolfman's name and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah,
oh boy,
yeah.
never.
You know,
even
there's a
knew
lot
that.
of overlap with comics and wrestling, turns out.
Yes, that's
No big shock.
That's what I'm saying. No big shock. I mean, you know, 25,000 views on a CM Punk interview can't be wrong, right?
Yep.
But
Did
again,
Kyle say he wanted to win the dick pic?
yeah.
Yeah.
If you remember last week, we did a giveaway. You just had to leave a comment in the comment section letting us know what your predictions for the Marvel phase was. You get the signed Tyler Kirkham Judgment Day, AVX versus Avengers versus X-Men versus Eternals, Tyler Kirkham signed poster. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now before we
Did you get
call
all
it
the
a
names?
night. Bro, I got this. All 3 comments. Let's pick a winner here. for that. Eric Williams, look at that. So congratulations, Eric. DM us on Instagram, and I'll get that out to you. Or if you go to Ish's shop, I can drop it off there, and you can pick it up there with Ish. Either way, whatever.
It does.
Works best
And Lance,
for you.
I have your hardcover Last Ronin.
Oh
Still.
fuck! I need to come get that.
I got it tucked away in the back for you.
Whatever
Thanks,
works
man.
for you. Like I said, hit me up on IG or let Ish know, and he can get with me, and I can get it to the store. You can
Congrats,
pick it up
Eric.
there. But congratulations, my man.
Boy, thank you for commenting.
Yes, we're gonna do more giveaways as we go. Sweet baby Jesus wearing an "I Love the Rock" T-shirt. All right, but we know Lance loves the Rock. So
He says, "I love to rock, not I love."
love to rock. Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Eric,
you're
won
welcome,
a
Eric.
Predator Prey poster
Ooh, look at that.
signed by the CGI bear.
And,
Ooh.
and a shit taken by Ish on top of it.
It's steaming.
Yeah, post chicken wing shit from Ish.
Yes, sprinkled with my hemorrhoid blood.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
Hey, we got to end the show on an awesome note.
I think that's a good
On that note, before I vomit,
Wow.
I want to thank everyone for
Blood.
hanging out in the chat tonight. Eric Williamson, congratulations again on your win. Your mom, Stick Boys, Patrick, Kyle, Zaggy, Epic Evan. I could just keep going on. Hartman, everyone, thank you so much for hanging out, making it fun as always. We appreciate you guys' support and love you very much. And for this,
you're not gonna say thank you, Lance. Fuck you.
thanks, Lance. Thanks, Max. Thanks, Ish. So for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, thanks, I Read Comics. For this week's episode, Sam. Thanks, Sam.
Sam's here.
Yeah, go check out Sam and Kyle on Thresholds of Reality. Sam had a very interesting interview with a psychic today.
That was cool. I saw that.
Yeah, some crazy stuff. So go check out Thresholds. Go support Renovision. Support these guys, Quickies, wherever they make more content. So for the 9th time, for this week's episode of the Absolute Geek Podcast, I'm Matt.
I'm Lance.
I'm Max.
I'm Ish.
And we'll see you guys next time.
All you freaks and geeks,
Come all you freaks and geeks. Let's listen to Absolute Geek.
Absolute Geek.
We'll go ahead and spread our cheeks
Spread the cheese.
and drink
And
some
we're for
Cosby
Absolute-
wine.
we'll
Come on,
drink
you
some Cosby wine. It makes me feel real fine. See you next time.